today. We got Craft Republic, Tim.
Hey.
How you doing? We got Claire. How you doing? Barry's award-winning craft beer bar. You guys won a Nasiba Award just a few months ago.
Yep, that's correct.
And Brew York. Wayne. Lee,
nice.
Amazing to have you on. This is fantastic. We've already got some comments coming through. We've got some likes coming through. Absolutely fantastic. But the weather's glorious. Oh, and we got Mel as well. Mel's I'll get shouted at later if I don't introduce Mel. Yeah, Mel's at the back. So it's boiling hot. We got some beers. We're going to be live streaming for the next 2 hours. Where do we start in? Let's give some just to hand some cans out.
Awesome, thank you.
Diana Voss, you got man? I'll hand you one.
Oh, cheers, thank you.
Diana Voss, a Olicana, Harley Quinn and Nelson Solvin Pale, 4.5% ABV. Alan Mead, thank you very much for the €1.99 super chat. Happy Sunday, great to see everybody. Thank you. Daniel Bales, hello Daniel Bale, how we doing?
We'll see you tomorrow, Daniel.
Yeah, we'll see Daniel Bale tomorrow.
He's coming tomorrow night.
Daniel's going to act as a really good moderator here today. So we got these kind of YouTube moderators. You probably got the same thing where it just filters out the loveliness, you know, the online loveliness we get. So Daniel Bell, thank you very much for being a really good moderator today in advance. So help yourself to glasses, everybody.
Go on, thanks.
This is my favourite glass.
I was just going to say it's an awesome loading glass.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Yeah, anybody
I think
I'll go in. I'll probably end up smashing this today. as it happens, knock it over.
Well, now you've said that, you are going to,
Yeah, definitely. So, what was the trip like down? Tell us where you've been.
We're on a bit of a 4-day road trip. So we were in Bristol yesterday for the Bristol Craft Beer Festival. Beautiful sunlight we've got here today.
Yeah.
Nice riverside setting. It's beautiful. Sold out a beer by 9 o'clock and then disappeared off for a Chinese.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Probably something similar tonight, you know. Yeah, and so you had Bristol yesterday. There was a brewery, did you say? I was concentrating on a festival.
A beer festival. So the Craft Beer Festival runs on Friday and Saturday, and we thought we'd pop down, spend a day there on the Saturday, and then come across and see you guys today.
Brilliant.
And then tomorrow across the Craft Republic for a ticketed event that's sold out.
Got a couple of spaces left. We've jiggled some people around, so we have got a little bit of room.
So anyone
couple of
local wants to pop
spaces.
down.
Exactly, couple of spaces left, everybody. Hit your website or online.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 11 beers pouring tomorrow.
Brew York. 11 Brew York beers pouring tomorrow.
Including two brand new beers launching at our place.
You've got this one. First time on draft, because this is the first time it's been served anywhere on can.
See, we're the first people.
There we are.
Yeah, that gets released next week. And it's also
Fantastic.
exclusive for us as well, because we've never used English hops in a beer before until this.
Are these like English New World hops, where you have like a version of Citra or a version of Cascade? Because that's happening, isn't it? In the UK?
So back in the 1970s, the English growers were trying to create hops that had an American-like character, and then they decided, no, we want to go a lot more traditional. So they then parked all these fantastic hops, which were somewhat American in nature, and now they're bringing a lot of them back. So I think Olicana is one of those. Harley Quinn is the very latest to come out of the hop development programme. And for 6 years, Wayne and I have resisted the use of English hops, because we're called Brew York, like New York. We're kind of an American-inspired brewery, so didn't feel we could do it. But our brewers finally convinced us. We've allowed English hops into the building. And I'm very, very pleased with the results, actually. I think they're going to make me eat my words.
Let's get into it.
So the beer itself, Diana Voss, is Diana Ross, who happens to be headlining Glaston Brewery this year on the
she was in
Legends
Cardiff
stage.
on Friday playing the
So we decided that we would try and do a beer dedication, because our beers are actually going to be on in Glastonbury this year, in the VIP tent where the heliport is. So basically any celebs hopefully who are travelling there will get to see some of our beers before they travel into the event. So we did a couple of different beers, this is one of them. Artwork on it,
absolutely love.
It's
The guys,
beautiful.
United
It
by
is
Design, have
wonderful.
done
Yeah.
some amazing stuff for us, and this is a pretty iconic can, so we're really pleased with what they've done.
Yeah.
The beer itself, Voss is a pun for us because that's a yeast strain, so Lee will probably want to tell you a bit about that.
Yeah, it's a Norwegian Creek yeast strain. Easy for me to say. So it's a Norwegian yeast where you ferment it way warmer than you would ordinarily ferment yeast. Normal yeast is going to be about 20 degrees. This one you can ferment at almost 40 degrees, and you get no off flavours. It creates all the alcohol in about 2 days.
Yeah.
It's really unique yeast that just likes to be abused. You underpitch it, you treat it really badly with the temperature, and it loves it.
That's exactly what you guys want, though, isn't it? You want something as flexible as that, so you can. And does it give off? We should talk about it now. It's quite clean as well, isn't it? It didn't give off too much kind of an estery kind of. It's like USO 5, is it?
No bad esters. So no, it's Creek Voss is the yeast in this one, which partly because of fermenting at higher temperatures, it does create quite a few esters, particularly ones that are really fruity. So you've got the fruity from the yeast in here complementing the fruit from the hops as well.
Fantastic. I'm going to ask everybody to hit the like button down below. Come on, hit that like button down below. Let's get this live stream shared out. We've got 150 people watching after 6 minutes, which is absolutely fantastic, but we want more. We always want more here on Real Ale Craft Beer. We want more. Come on, we want more. Let's do 100 likes. Hit the like button down below for 100 likes. If I miss any comments, then it's just going to be a really good evening, afternoon here. But if I do miss some of the comments on here, it's because we're having a good laugh, so we're having a good time.
Oh yeah.
So, Craft Republic, tell us a little bit about your story and your award-winning bar. And I know all about you because I went down there at least once a month. I can. But at least tell us about your story then, Craft Republic.
Well, so obviously we're a husband and wife team.
As are we. I'm not sure which is which.
Moving on.
Neither of us have a background in hospitality, but we both really love craft beer.
Yep.
We live on Barry Island, and we just got fed up of having to travel other places if we wanted to drink craft beer. Like we had to go into Cardiff, we had to go to beer festivals,
Yep.
we had to trek around. So we really wanted the bar that we wanted to go to within walking distance, like within our community.
Yep.
So yeah, we gave up our corporate jobs, deciding to open this craft beer bar, and took the keys to our unit 2 weeks before lockdown hit.
Yes.
Unbelievable. It's an unbelievable.
So during the basically during the pandemic, I locked myself in the unit and built the bar that we now have. Learned loads of new skills, everything from laying parquet floor for our bar top and coming out looking like a Oompa Loompa covered in sawdust. But, there was not much else we could do, and it was a kind of we just kept pushing forward all the way through because we had to make it work because it's our life savings.
Yeah, in a way, lockdown kind of helped us a little bit because we're fully self-funded, so we didn't have any money, but suddenly we had time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we couldn't travel, and we couldn't get tradespeople in easily, and there's a shortage of plaster and wood and all this kind of stuff. But what it meant is that we could be there every day. It was just the two of us, and obviously we're in a household, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Painting the walls, doing the wallpaper, building the bar, literally doing everything. So actually that we were 2 months later opening, I think, than we'd originally thought, but those 2 months were really useful because we saved so much money, and we did like 90% of the work ourselves. And we know every inch of that bar. Like, we designed it, we decorated it, we fitted it out. We know everything about it. We spec'd the direct draw system, because whilst some brewery tap rooms around the UK have direct draw and it's an American system, actually here in the UK for independents it's not very common.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we
I
were
didn't know that,
yeah, we were trying to research it, and nobody had done what we'd done before.
Well, we saw the first time we saw one in the flesh was in Nice, at this little cool little craft beer bar down in the suburbs, and we were just fascinated by it and sort of started looking into it to see like the benefits to it, and it made so much sense for us to kind of go down that route. And honestly, it means like the beer is so fresh.
We have it as well in our beer hall, but I guess for people at home who are wondering what direct draw is, Do you want to explain?
Yeah. So direct draw basically is typically a cellar is kept between 9 and 13 degrees, and beer is normally pumped through a remote chiller to bring it down to the 4 degrees that we serve it at. Direct draw system is slightly different. It's actually basically a big walk-in fridge that literally the taps are poked through the wall, and the beer is dispensed and kept at 4 degrees permanently. So there's no flash chilling. Because of that, beer the hop profile doesn't change when it's kept at a higher temperature. So basically, the beer is as fresh as the brewery intended it. Short of actually transporting it from the brewery where it's kept in their chiller to our chiller, we're as close to cold chain as we possibly can be.
And that must be, sorry to interrupt you, Tim, but that must be so like music to you guys,
Exactly.
because your beer leaves your brewery in perfect condition. And then we hear stories all the time where people leave kegs out in the sun, or they leave barrels out in the sun. And the fact that this, you've got people here who are just absolutely making sure that beer is served in pristine condition.
That's
it's
it.
probably half a battle for you guys,
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. It's amazing for us because beer stored colder stays fresh longer.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good. And we have one of our customers who we did an install for them in a shipping container, and when we went to see them, they were storing all the beer in the direct sunlight, ready to go on into a shipping container which was warm to then pull through a flash chiller. And we just said, the beer's going to fob loads, you're going to get loads of wastage, it's not going to taste as good, you need to start chilling that beer before you put it on. Unfortunately, they didn't listen to us, so we don't buy much beer off us anymore.
So it is great to see someone doing it what we would consider to be the right way.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, the quality of what's in the glass, we are the ones that get blamed if it's not good.
Yeah,
It's never the venue that gets blamed, it's always the creator of the liquid that gets the blame.
And it's very rare we have any problems with any of our beers. They pour perfectly because our lines are so short. To put it in perspective, our wastage is a quarter of a pint on a keg, which in a lot of bars they can be anything up to 4 pints. And
That's
because that also cleaning lines is really simple and quick, and it means that our lines are scrupulously clean and everything down to even the glassware. We make sure the glassware is so perfect so that you get all the lovely lace in the beer. It's just perfect, and that's massively important.
How many beer lines have you got on?
We've got 14.
So to put that into context, 4 pints lost, 14 beers. You're losing almost a whole keg of beer every time you change it if you didn't have this system.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good for the business as well as the customer. So.
And I guess that it depends how long, especially with the line cleaning and how often they're doing that, and the length, and how quickly you turn over the beers. Actually, sometimes it's you can lose a lot of revenue.
Yeah, and as a customer, do you want to be
Super chat.
getting the stuff that's sat in the long line, getting warm, or do you want the bit that's gone the very short route from the cellar?
Especially if it's sat in
exactly,
sunlight
literally
or
just through a wall.
Yeah, it's literally
Yeah.
through about I think 6 inches the cellar is,
Unbelievable.
and obviously that's insulated, so
Yeah.
it's literally that much.
And it's in a Victorian building as well, which is
Yes.
which makes. I just got to quickly get a super chat, if I
of
can
course.
jump in. Joe Biden's dentist $5 super chat. On behalf of the channel memberships, we would like to welcome the award-winning Craft Republic and Brew York to the Stone Crow Virtual Pub. Thank you. That's Joe Biden's dentist in
Cheers.
in America. Absolutely. He was living in
Cheers.
Ohio, and I believe, Joe, you've moved from Ohio now. You're not in Ohio anymore. We've also got some brewers in. We got Lord's Brewing Company, and he's saying, don't forget to hit that like button. John from Lodge. I think you guys met John from
Yeah, we
Lodge.
did.
In Seaber X.
Yes, in Beerex, yeah.
In Beerex, yeah.
It was
you guys
it was
met
after.
John.
It was just after.
Well,
the award.
that's actually how this happened.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you got. Yeah, of course.
Because
you guys were there.
we were looking for a venue afterwards to have a celebratory drink, so we ended up kind of bumping into you,
Well,
Simon.
we knew there was a Brew York Town.
Yeah, we knew that,
Brewery,
so we
were
headed
like,
over
"Oh,
to there, and obviously we came and
And
met you very nicely.
Oh, the head of steam of
Yes,
it's all
that was
coming
it.
back
Do
to
you
you
know,
now,
it
yeah.
got to that point at the
Yeah.
end of the night because obviously you guys won. Was it the best brewery? Was it?
Seaber Brewery Business of the Year.
Yeah,
2020,
which was amazing.
yeah.
And we just won the best independent city bar, hadn't we? And it was the end of the night, and I remember thinking, right, if I don't go and speak to these guys now, I've lost my chance.
Yeah.
You know, we've been celebrating.
Yeah, oh yeah, we were, yeah. Jumping around.
And I hate approaching people. Like, I'm such the person that doesn't go and speak to people. And I was like, I have to go and do it now.
Do it.
And I just remember going up to you and I was like, you come to a bar, and you said, I tell you what, email me, and you gave me your email address and said, will you remember that? And I was like, yeah, it's really simple, I can do that.
Well, it worked.
And then I emailed and I didn't hear anything. I was like, oh, maybe he's just been really nice, you know, just like go away, drunk person.
No, I'm just not very good at responding to my emails. It can take a week or two.
Just all on evenings and weekends.
But then when we realised, well, it's Barry, who else do we know? It's Barry.
Yeah. And I had an email off Lee saying, what we're going to do. And I thought, well, yeah, let's do a Stone Crow. Let's do a Stone Crow virtual pub and just share it with everybody. And it's great, isn't it? Lovely weather, great beers. I think we should talk about the beer a little bit. I'm just going to... I know you haven't finished your story yet, but I just want to talk about the beer a little bit. So how are you finding these English hops, Tim?
Oh, I'm really enjoying it. To be fair, obviously we're used to the big brash Americans hops, and while they're great, sometimes you want something dialed back slightly. I love the clean taste and the mouthfeel of it. It's delicious.
It's really good.
Would you have known it was English hops if we hadn't have told you?
I would have said, I probably would have said you'd use less hops than others. I wouldn't have necessarily noticed that it was English
Marmalade. I'm getting a lot of marmalade.
Well, like I get quite limey character with this.
Pineapple certainly on the nose as well.
So we have cheated a little bit here because the English hops are in the hot side, aren't they, in the kettle? So when we boiled it, and it's been dry hopped with a New Zealand hop, Nelson, Sauvin. So you get a bit of wine-like notes.
Yes.
As
Big
well.
fan of Nelson.
I love
Yeah.
Nelson.
But it's super easy drinking, and especially at 4.5%, it's definitely on the sessionable
But
side.
I wouldn't have necessarily picked it as 4.5. I probably would have picked it up in the 5s.
Yeah,
actually.
that would be fair.
That's good.
Yeah, no, that
yeah,
is one thing. Because you do find, obviously, in the lower ABV, sometimes
Can be a bit thin.
they're a bit lacking, a bit
Yeah.
thin, and that's definitely not the case. So.
It's
One of
all
the-
our body, definitely, isn't it?
One of the things we did drive straight across from Bristol and dropped the beers with Simon. So they haven't had as long
Yeah,
in the
my
fridge as we
fridge
probably
is-
would have.
My fridge is in the sun as well.
But
It's-
perfect,
but yeah, it's
perfect for a sunny afternoon. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
This is absolutely delicious.
I got a super chat, if I can just, sorry to interrupt everybody.
Yeah.
We got a super chat, I'll read it out now from, we got Joe Biden's dentures, we got that one. Here we are. Much love, guys, on the club, Tropica in the sun, watching on the Isle of Wight. Great to see the virtual pub back, Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, everybody.
Stone the Crows.
Because
Absolutely. I thinking this could be something. I've always wondered how to kind of kick this type of thing off. There are live streaming channels on YouTube where they invite guests on, and I've always thought this would be a great opportunity for another series, if you like, where you get brewers on a live feed and invite them here into the bar.
Yeah.
So amazing that you guys are the first, because
So is
we're
this
massive
series
fans.
1, episode 1?
Oh no,
Yeah.
she takes the mick out of me all the time. Oh, every week. Like I did Cardiff and I called it
Any
Series 1,
opportunity,
Episode
yeah.
2, and she said what a terrible name for a series. But for me, it gives off. I'm not a marketing man, but it gives off a direction of a documentary, doesn't it? When you call it Series 1, Episode 2. I'm digging. Yeah. So we got lots of comments. I know, no. So we're going to carry on going through the UK, drinking in bars as well,
I think
and
it should
showing
be
off.
Stone the Crow invites and go from there.
Stone and Crows invites, Brew Up, brilliant, Craft Republic. Yeah, so this might be another series where we start inviting brewers to.
Well, I'm up for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if I get to drink beer.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is fantastic. Really, a couple of hours here, and then off we go down to Craft Republic, which would be absolutely superb. So Claire, what are your thoughts on the beer?
I really like it.
It is good, isn't it?
It's really nice.
Bloody simple.
I was gonna
Two towering Vikings opposite you. Come down to do the tasting tomorrow.
yeah, and suddenly you phone in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm not feeling so
Yeah,
good."
feeling sick. You drank too much.
I don't deal with confrontation. So everything is good.
No, we love people. We love honesty. We love feedback. If people like our beer, then great. If they don't, and there's something they like or don't like about it, we want to know, because we want to make sure we make as much beer as possible that people enjoy. You can't you can't please everybody with every single beer, but what we try and do is brew lots of different varieties of beer, so that we've usually got something for everybody. Hence tomorrow night you've got a whole pallet's worth of beer, haven't you? Loads of beer to put on.
Yeah, including the two launch ones
Well,
that
including
literally
this.
turned up on Saturday. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and Diana Ross, being the diva, nearly didn't make it to the party.
Yeah.
You know, so but she's here, chilling in the fridge, ready to go.
Strangely, we had a lot of packaging issues on this one, and the issues were related to the cans, not the kegs. But we can the beer first, and then we keg it afterwards. And it was just as simple as label application. We were having real difficulties for some reason with the label applicator, which then really slowed production down, and then it meant that we couldn't get the kegs packaged as quickly as we'd hoped. But thankfully, we got them down to you. The other beer we've got launching is Lemony Snippet.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Oh, what a name.
Yeah.
2.8 Radler.
Yeah.
Lemony. Oh my God, what a name. You guys are brilliant at this.
Yeah, but there's a
Yeah.
reason for it. There's a reason for it, isn't
Mel's
there?
favourite beer is
Rhubarb Schweitzer.
Rhubarb Cider.
Yeah.
It's just great,
You had
mate.
that. You had that at our place, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was the first time you ever had it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Sour
brilliant,
one, yeah.
brilliant beers.
We've done all sorts of variants on it since, but yeah, it's still one of our biggest selling beers, Rhubarb.
Mel, what do you think of the?
I really like it.
It's good, isn't it?
It's nice, good sessionable beer, I would say.
We haven't launched the beer, but we did a sneak tasting on Friday because we had the guys from Buxton Brewery down with us to brew a collab. So we had the underfilled cans in the fridge in our staff room, so we were chilling out, having some pizza, having a chat with them and drinking this beer. So that was my first chance to try it. And also it was nice to get a really cool brewery like Northern Monk down to our place who tried it again, who really enjoyed it. It's quite nice for us to get that feedback from the industry and from our peers. And yeah, quite a fun day to start this long tour off for us.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm finding it's got a lovely dryness to it, crisp, clean. I'm standing in the sun. I'm one of the lucky ones here. Standing in the sun. This is perfect. It's a perfect, really nice drinking pale ale. And I think this is the type of beer that leads you on to. I've already got a feeling this is going to turn into a fun night. You know? I got a feeling. It's going to
If I smash 4 beers in,
Yeah.
in 2 hours, then yeah, definitely it's going to be a fun night.
Especially as the one we're concluding on is 12%.
Oh,
Yeah, and you need that like beer that starts you off to where you go, I want another one, and you just feel this is a great starting beer.
Yeah.
It really is. Lovely pale ale, nice and juicy, and there's that perception, isn't it, with English hops that they're twiggy, they're woody, but it's not, is it? This is really good.
Some of them are. And if you select the right ones and use them in the right way, then you can get different types of flavour coming through.
So one of our brewers who joined us last year used to work for a brewery called Buxton Brewery. So really cool brewery. You've got one of their beers.
Oh yeah,
next to me.
Yellow Belly, yeah.
So one, a brewer, just before he left the brewery to join us, he went on a hop walk in the UK with a hop merchant from the UK called Charles Farham, and they showed them what they felt would be the up and coming English hops. And they do a hop rub and they talk about how you can use it. And he came away to me and Lee's like, I've got these amazing English hops I want you to use. And Lee was, no chance. So thankfully, he came on board, he brewed some really good pale beer for us, and he proved that, he's got some good, taste when it comes to pale beer. So convinced Lee to give it a try.
And Paul, who's the MD of Charles Farham, and Beth, who's our rep in the north of England, they came to site and they did this rub that Wayne was describing with us. So we got to appreciate the aromas, and it's still a guessing game at that point, though, because just because it smells great on your palm, doesn't mean it's going to translate into a great beer. And that's the issue I've had with English hops in the past, because it might smell brilliant there, but then I end up with twigs, and that's not what I'm going for.
No.
Whereas it's good here, where I think we have got a translation of what I could smell into the beer. You would not describe this as twiggy.
No,
Absolutely not.
There's not a Brew York beer coming out called Twiggy then.
We'll find a way.
I think we know what the artwork would be like.
Like lemony and marmalade-y, and it's really nice. It's really... Well, let me know when you're ready for your next beer. I noticed you're doing the correct thing and leaving some beer in a can, just pulling bits out.
I just drink so fast, unfortunately.
Oh!
no, I finished mine as well. So.
Right, okay, so...
I'm right.
Lord's Brewing Company's been a member for 26 months. Welcome to the lovely people of the Stone Crow. John, you're very welcome to come anytime you want. You've been a fantastic... Well, I think we all know John.
Yeah.
John's a great guy.
We were talking about doing something with him at some point anyway.
Yes,
we were at Spirex.
I was on the phone to John about 10 days ago, and John was saying he's definitely got to get in contact with you guys and do some keg stuff, and that would be awesome.
We're up for
Maybe get him down to do the Stone Crow live. That would be
awesome.
I think we were chatting to, I think it was Matt Curtis a couple of weekends ago, and he said he'd had some of your beers, and he was absolutely loving them.
Oh, there we go. Matt Curtis, big. He's a nice blogger. I went to Belgium with Matt Curtis. Lovely guy. He can drink. He likes a pint as well.
Yeah, we were up at Pine Fest doing some panel talks. So myself and Lee said that we'd happily talk about any topic if he wanted, and he chose barrel aged beer. So Lee did an hour's chat on that with them. Which is I'm glad you did it, because we just walked up to what they have this thing called the Walker's Bar. So the whole festival set out in in an amazing setting next to the Fine Ales Brewery tap room, and then a 1 hour walk up the road to this abandoned building where they set up a temporary events bar there. There was 2,000 people walked up this track. It took an hour to get there. Amazing place. Sat down by the river. Loads of people in and out of the river. Really, really cool time. Boiling hot. Absolutely boiling hot. And we walked back, and my face.
Not a bit of shade anywhere. And look at us, two pasty northerners.
So we got back to the campsite on the walk after the walk back, and then had to go pretty much straight on and do a talk for an hour. So I ran to get us some food, and then I was so late bringing the food back that Lee didn't have a chance to eat it. I had to go live. It was fun. It was a great talk.
Well, the day before was the first night of the festival, and you know that usual first night on holiday, let's not go too mad. Okay.
Wake up 3 o'clock.
So then 2 o'clock, the day after the night before, I'm doing 6 barrel aged beers.
2 p.m. And the beer we took was a 14% barrel aged stout. It's a great beer, but at 2 p.m. after all that, it was a challenge, but it perked us up, and we were ready for the rest of the day.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was really perked up by the end of that.
Just topping up.
I suffer from car sickness, and I went to Poland, and the distance between thank you, man, that was perfect. The distance between the breweries and the festival was massive. The distance, and of course in between that I was getting really kind of car sick.
Yeah.
And I went to Tyskie Brewery.
Thank you.
And they've got a Baltic Porter. Have you tried the Tyskie Baltic Porter?
I've had a Baltic Porter, not theirs though. No.
It's absolutely classic, kind of sort of. Hopefully, I'm not swearing to any Polish people here, but kind of Russian, Polish Baltic Porter style beer. And I remember sitting there opening this beer, thinking, I feel really, really bad. This is either going to kill or cure me. This Baltic Porter. And the brewer came up to me and he said, "You're not looking too well. You know." They'd explained that I had this car sickness, and he came up with this Baltic Porter, and he just handed me this beer and he said, "Drink that, you'll be fine." And it was 10%, and honestly, I could feel every mouthful I was coming around. And that's what happens with these strong beers, isn't it? Like you were just saying then, that kind of next day.
Especially the day after the night before.
Yeah, it's almost every mouthful you're coming back alive type of thing.
So this next beer that we're going on to here was one of the ones we brewed for our 6th birthday celebrations. So
that's the breakfast coat.
Yeah, the breakfast club. So
we've got those in our
have you got
bar.
them?
Yeah, I mean, they've been phenomenally successful in our bottle shop.
Oh, nice. So 4 different beers, 4 different breweries collaborated with. This one is with Full Circle, brewed from the northeast.
Love Full Circle.
Yeah, they're great.
Lee's up there on Wednesday to brew a return leg of
Thursday.
So Full Circle, great new brewery who cropped up just at the start of lockdown. So very, very similar story to yourself, trying to start a business during such a difficult time, but they've done such a good job.
Their beers are fantastic.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few on tap now. To put in perspective, we've had nearly 800 different beers on draft since we opened in under 2 years, with basically being a bar for 11 weeks and 8.5 months in the first 8.5 months. So So we've had quite a few full circle, and we absolutely love them.
Really, really nice guys as well. So
Alex is a very good brewer.
So we're doing a 2-hour session here today. We got 4 beers. We're exactly half an hour in.
Hey, that's very
Well,
good.
exactly. We're right ready for the next. I'm lagging behind a little bit.
We do the similar things. We do a 2-hour session each month and do 4 beers tasting on that. So we're kind of getting used to that half-hour beer now. So the Full Circle collab was called Tea. So we decided to do the Breakfast Club, 4 breweries, 4 different beers, all breakfast themed. So we have tea, coffee, juice, and toast.
Yeah.
And because we do daft beers, silly names, we decided to be as unpretentious as we could, or as pretentious as we could, I guess, depending on how you see it, by coming up with these names. Because the subtext
When you go
on
so
this,
far along, you come back round the
Yeah.
other way.
Yeah.
so the subtext on this beer is tea, and then the next line, strawberry and cream fruit tea IPA.
So it says there's nothing wrong with the strawberries and cream tea, is there?
Absolutely. So how do what is it like? How do you get the flavours of the? Is it hops?
No. Well, there is a hop in here called Belmer, I think, which is known to have a berry-like character. So
Okay.
that's kind of given a foundation. And then we've actually used a flavoured fruit tea.
Oh,
So there's a tea merchants that we work with in York, and they had a strawberries and cream tea. So it's got little
I know,
pieces of
yeah,
strawberry and
Wow.
little bits of coconut, a few other things in there as well.
Yeah.
And then we basically put
Vanilla.
that
Yeah.
tea into a basket, an infusion basket, inside a bigger vessel, and then we cycle the beer across that,
Oh.
and then it just extracts those flavours from it. It's, I think, the second or third time we've used a different type of tea, and it's unbelievable how much flavour you can pull
I
out
was
of
going
these
to
things.
say, and the creaminess of that.
It
Yeah.
is strawberries and cream, isn't it?
Yeah.
It
Think of
really
strawberry
is.
chewits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not artificial.
Yeah,
But that's the thing,
yeah.
because some of the beers can
Strawberry
that we've had
chewits.
can almost taste that
Yeah.
artificial like foam, bananas, that type of thing, that
Yeah.
kind of fake sweet
I
flavour.
think it's like, do you remember the boiled sweet, where it was red and white, it was strawberry
Yeah,
and
yeah,
cream
yeah,
sweet?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
So one of the best things about these tea was we've done different flavours before, different fruits before, and when we used the tea for the first time,
Fine, went down the wrong way.
Just kind of breathe beer. Nothing to see here.
the tea infusion was a great way to do that. What was the first one we did?
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that.
It was Daddy and Tom who went and Tom's one. It was peach iced tea. What's
Peach
that?
iced tea,
that's a banging
sour IPA,
Yeah.
done with
Oh.
It was a Talking Heads pun.
the album.
We'll remember it shortly. Sal, if you're watching at home.
Punches, something about punches.
No.
Anyone know the name of Talking Heads album? Anyway,
Smells good with music.
Anyone at home who knows Talking Heads, you need to remind us what we named the beer.
Dreaming of Punches.
I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out. I'm sure there's people who know. Hit the like button down below. Let's do 150 likes. Come on, let's get this stream out there. We have 235 people watching, which is pretty
Cheers.
cool, isn't it?
Thank you very much.
I really enjoyed, just to interrupt, I really enjoyed your live stream the other day.
On Friday.
Friday, yeah. You had the guys from Northern Mancock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left a little comment on it, and I had a couple, and you know, he's just put a movie on the end, but it was great, absolutely fantastic.
I mean, Brian's a little bit of a hero. Before we founded Brew York, we went across to see Brian for some advice on purchasing equipment, and he'd give us pretty much a whole afternoon of his time talking through everything they've been through, and they're like 3 years ahead of us. I mean, look at what they've achieved now.
Unbelievable. Because did you know that I brewed a collaboration with Northern Monk?
Yes, I can't remember you told me off. Brian told me on Friday. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
We did a custard cream pale ale, where they said go and buy some, come up to Leeds and do the collaboration. So me and Rob from Hopsy, I'm not sure if Rob's watching, if he is. Hello, Rob. We went out to the shop and went to the pound shop. We bought a load of custard cream biscuits. And we were smashing them with a hammer and brewing with these custard. We brewed a custard cream pale ale.
Love custard.
Yeah.
I love custard cream. And the cheaper you can get them, the better they are.
Yeah, exactly. We were on the hunt for cheap custard cream. But that was. But they were just about to go bonkers after that. And it really has. They've done really well, haven't they?
The scale they're at now is so we brew around 10,000 hectolitres of beer a year. So a hectolitre is 100 litres.
Okay.
To be classed as a very small brewery, to get full relief on tax, you have to be sub 5,000 hectolitres, which we purposely stayed under until we hit lockdown.
Mm.
So we've kind of gone above that limit by about twofold now. Northern Monk are about 30 to 40,000 hectolitres, so about 4 times the size of us.
Wow.
So that's 30 to 40 million litres they do a year.
Wow.
So that's
what that means.
so 30, 40, if you were in crude terms, that's what, 480 million pints.
Wow.
Give or take.
Yeah,
So
if we're saying about half a litre a pint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if we're allowed to talk about this, well, they were brewing solely out of the Flax store when I was there.
Yeah.
When I did the collaboration. So, I mean, is it like they have an out-of-town place now?
We've got two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly the same. So when you came to see us for the live stream in Christmas time, we were brewing solely out of that brewery in the city centre, which again is the same size as the brewery they had in the Flagstaff.
Right, okay.
And then since then we opened our brewery outside of York. Ours is 50 hectolitre per brew, and we have a dual stream, so in theory we could brew 100 hectolitres at a time. There's a 50 hectolitre brew house as well, but they brew 4 times a day, 7 days a week. We brew once a day, 5 days a week.
But,
so it's a big difference.
Another interesting story though, like you were saying, you were fully hands-on with your place. When we went, we turned up to the new brewery to do some filming, and we were greeted with Lee in these overalls, and he had a big spanner in his hand. You remember? And he was like full on, like building this brewery by hand. I thought that's blooming great, like that kind of Fred Dibner type, where you're hands-on working. I love that kind of hands-on.
Most of the time, I love that as well. But yeah, it'd be nice to have as well every once in a while.
I feel your pain. It's like solving problems and coming to fix little things. Sometimes.
When you were telling your origin story, I thought that sounds so similar to our origin story, because 2 weeks in, you got a pandemic. 2 weeks in, our brewery went underwater.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So that was the York floodings in 2015.
Yes.
Boxing Day 2015. Wayne rang me, said, I think we might need to go to the brewery, it's underwater. But we just signed a lease for 7 years, and 2 weeks in, we're underwater.
So yeah, thankfully it was the right time for us. The kit hadn't been installed. We were just a building site, so I went down to site. We got a flood warning, so before that we'd moved as much as we could to a high level. When we knew it flooded, I went down the site and waded through water. Crotch deep.
Nice.
Flood water.
Freezing.
Wrong level, you don't want to go water.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Talking about tea.
I wish I still had the video of it, because we did have CCTV at that point in time.
Yeah.
There's a video where like a fluorescent light tube in a box just floats across the wandering through this water.
Yeah, thankfully it wasn't too bad, and our friends and family rallied in amazing support and helped us clean and disinfect the site, and we lost about 2 weeks. That's all we lost in
Brilliant.
That's amazing.
But we did it exactly the way you guys did it. We built the bar, we built every bit of furniture, we did everything that you described.
Yeah.
And it's way more rewarding that way.
100%. 100%. I agree.
And Born Under Peaches. That was the name of that beer.
Hey!
Hey, remember
There you
this?
go.
This is fab.
It's absolutely fab, isn't it? It really is.
It's when we did the 4 birthday beers, this is one of my favourites. It was especially as the lowest ABV, because we did 6, 8 and 2 10%ers, which is quite sensible for us compared to our other birthday releases. But yeah, really, really fresh for the weather like this. It's amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
I
Yeah,
love like
really
the
unbelievable.
tannins on it as well. It's just like from the
from the
tea,
tea.
just held there
Yeah.
at the back. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
and I mean, even though it's 6%, it doesn't feel heavy at all. It's
Say that in 2 hours.
that's all right.
I tell you what I really enjoyed is the mouthfeel.
Yeah,
really
it's like the
rich,
creamy. Yeah,
creamy.
exactly.
Yeah, it
And-
tastes really creamy.
And it is exactly. It's basically Ron Seal. It
Does what it
tastes
says on the
exactly. It
tin.
tastes
Yeah.
exactly as you'd expect it to taste.
But that's kind of our brewing philosophy. If we're going to declare that there's an ingredient in something, you are going to taste it. We don't do subtle, we're more sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
Subtle as its place, but the point is, I like to be kicked in the taste buds whenever I drink it.
The thing is, we
What's
find
the
that in the
point?
bar though, you know, especially maybe with more sour or fruited beers, when they say they've got a fruit in it and people sort of want to taste that fruit and then they have their pint and they're just like, I can't get that.
Yeah.
Or it's so subtle. And I appreciate with some things it is hard, you know, they are subtle flavours, but it's really nice to actually get what it says.
Yeah, yeah.
So this also has lactose in it, so
But that, yeah,
Yeah.
that,
Because
well,
of the
that's
strawberry
actually good.
cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
lactose gives us the body and the creaminess as well as the creaminess from the tea itself.
I don't normally like lactose, but it's actually working here. It really, and I'm not just saying that because you guys are in the room and you're bigger than me. But honestly, I'm not normally lactose in an imperial stout. Yes, but it's actually working. In it.
I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
lactose,
Yeah.
full stop.
It would be difficult for us to achieve cream without the use.
Yeah, no,
of
100%,
lactose.
100%.
I think everything has its place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As long as you're not
it's
using these
working.
things over excessively, which
And you're not
we
using
might have done in the past.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it all the time either, as you said, like it's got to be in the right place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and this year we've been trying to have a focus on not using those kind of adjuncts as often and trying to make sure we've got some good accessible vegan options
Of course,
as well.
which is a big
Absolutely.
important thing. I mean, we see that in the bar. It's important people do actually come in, and that's one thing that we have a beer menu via Untapped. But there's no option for that to actually be able to flag it, which
Yeah.
is quite important because people want to know.
We end up manually adding it in
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, but it'd be so nice for it to be there as part of the beer
Yeah.
description.
yeah, unless you manually rename every
Yeah.
beer and put a bit of information in it. I walked into our venue the other day, and for whatever reason, one of our beers was on with the default Untapped description, which gave it no clue whatsoever as to what the beer is. So yeah, it's really important, like for our guys to try and put a bit more information on there, because Untapped's just generic listings. It was I can't remember which one it was, but it was English IPA, not international IPA. It was down as. I was like, it's not an international IPA, whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, they give such short descriptions, so it might say American Pale Ale, but it might be one we put grapefruit in. And if someone's going to order a beer that's got grapefruit in, maybe you should tell them up front, it's
Yeah,
got
there's
grapefruit
grapefruit
in
in
it.
But this is why it's so important the way we run the bar in terms of the table service and all of our staff actually try the beers, because the amount of people that say the descriptions on Untapped don't necessarily explain that they go, oh, I want something fruity, and we go, oh, that's fine. There's
Yeah.
Grey Trees Mazango because that's got mango in it, or there's Pogo on, or whatever there is on. It's kind of we're able to
And
tell
it's
them that,
such a
but we
shame
need
with
people
your
to.
beers as well, because like your descriptions are all amazing. Like when we were teeing up the Untapped menu for tomorrow night, and I was reading out, the Diana Voss and the Lemony Snicket, they're brilliant. Whoever writes your descriptions is. Amazing.
a lot of the times it's like
Oh,
we're trying to hand it over
Some of the time,
to
yeah.
free up some more of Blue's time to go camping.
Now, I'm
and
told we need to do less comedy and they need to have better
No,
tasting notes.
No, I think honestly,
I
I
think
think
well.
It works.
it
And I love
really
this little,
works.
And I love this little thing that you have as well that has
The
like the
flavour
spec.
wheel.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's so helpful.
One of the best
Really
things about
Yeah.
that, so I mean, I don't know if
Can you
anyone
take it
at
to the
home
camera?
has
Yeah,
yeah.
seen this before. So we try to put the descriptions on and categorise it and give it a rating. And the thing is, if you find one of our beers you really like, that shape should be the same on another beer that you might really like. So one of our friends described that.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
that's
like,
cool.
I really like the one that looks like a pint glass. I'm like, what? And that certain style, it was hoppy,
He likes it high for hoppy and fruity,
And then-
kind of
bitter and mouthfeel. Or
yeah,
something.
That's
anyway.
And then
And
not
it
much
forms,
involved.
just by mere coincidence, it forms the shape of a pint on the grid.
That's quite
he loves
interesting.
the ones that have that.
That's quite an interesting way of looking at it. To be
Yeah.
fair.
One of my former roles, I used to work in data science, so I'm a big geek on many levels, and one of them is this kind of thing, visualization.
Data
of
visualization.
It's important for us.
Yeah, it's important. It is, it
Data's
is.
huge for what we do as well.
Yeah, we're fully data driven.
Yeah, you put a page of A4 writing in front of someone and they're going to get bored. Put some visual prompts in it and get rid of some of the information. It's much more meaningful. My background's finance and accounting, so I used to try and clearly present financial information to people who don't understand numbers, which is lots and lots of fun. But yeah, it's really important that you find something that people can relate to, and then you present stuff in that way. And that's one of the things the flavour wheel's done for us. It's finding something that people understand. I like this beer, so therefore I'm going to probably find ones that are high in fruit or hops or whatever they want is, and then try and buy that again.
And sorry, you go.
No, the thing I really like about it as well, because craft beer is so full of jargon. If you want to go down the geeky kind of, the nerdy route, and part of the things that we try and do is break that down into layman's terms and things that people will understand. And the thing I like about this is you can say, oh yeah, this one's high on fruit, high on hop, it's lower on the bitter. You don't need to be fully into craft beer, it's more accessible for somebody who's maybe dipping their toe in or who doesn't know so much about things.
Yeah, no, exactly. It acts as a kind of educational aid.
Yeah.
Without because you don't need to know the difference between a cryo hop or some other technical jargon. You just want to know, am I going to like this beer? And that's really important.
I thought I would be Simon for a minute.
No, jump in.
I realise I'm on camera trying to squint at the screen, so I'll let you do that.
It is, I know.
I need sunglasses.
Only cans. Joe Biden's dentures.
So I don't think I missed a super chat, but you might want to check just in case.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there was one.
Well, while you're looking for that, and going back to what we're saying about Untapped and the descriptions, it really does depend on how invested the brewery is in the use of Untapped. Because if you're the brewery and you do buy into it, then we can populate what the style is, how it should be described, all of that kind of stuff. If the brewery doesn't invest in that, then whoever drinks the first can or glass of it is the person
I
who's
didn't
going to...
know that.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting. So knowing that we had 2 new beers, I was doing our Untapped menu day before yesterday, I think it was, and I was looking thinking, these 2 aren't even going to be in Untapped. And they were there. Whereas I've had that happen before, where we've had kegs sat there, and I go to put it on, and I go to look for them Untapped, and they don't exist.
Well, here's a little tip for you. If you want to find out what's coming up from us, we operate so far ahead, you'll be able to see things on Untapped that aren't even released yet.
That's good to know.
Right. This is pretty amazing.
Only by a couple of days, but we have to make sure that the Untapped listing is there, ready for when whoever has the first pour.
Brilliant. That is really cool. That's a tip, everybody. Look for the new beers on Untapped. I think this is really cool, and this for me, what's the word? It says exactly what the beer industry is. We're all friends, and when we go to beer festivals, we all meet up, we all have fun, and this kind of crystallises. That's the only word I can come up with for now. But this is another brewery paying a £10 super chat, saying basically you can get hold of the beers and then your website. So they paid a £10 super chat, put your website out there, and check out York Brewery. No. Brew York! I'm two beers in already. Two beers already making mistakes.
No surprise next time, Simon.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell, they're bigger than me.
That reminds me of Neil Gets Things Done gauge with the with our growler.
Who did
So-
the super chat?
Yeah.
So that was Lord's Brewing Company.
cheers.
Cheers, mate.
£10 super chat saying buy the beers from Brew York, and there's the website, and
Good
it
lad.
comes up as a live. You can actually click the link and go
Ah,
and go there.
that's
In
lovely.
that for me, not crystallised. What word am I looking for?
Defined.
Defines. That's the one. I'm so glad I got a wife. So
Then we'll wait
as well.
that defines for me the whole beer industry, craft beer industry. We're all mates, aren't we? We're all
Yeah, but
mates.
this
We
is what-
really are.
This is what you've got to look at. It's very easy for it to become way more than like, oh, well, I won't drink their beer because I don't make that. It's not about that. It's about we've all got to support each other, and actually everyone's in the same game doing it, and everyone's good at what they do. It's just everyone has a different style and a different approach to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Collaborations are prevalent in our industry because we all love what we do and we like to help each other out.
100%.
It was a bit surreal going from I used to work in, I mentioned earlier, finance, but also for a construction company. There's no way you'd work with another construction
Oh,
company.
actually not.
Side by side
Yeah.
and tell
No.
them what you're doing and
No.
give them insight into how your operations work. We do it all the time. We work with other breweries. We show them how things work. Show them how we got to the stage we're at, and try to help them do the same thing, because we want people to drink good beer, and if that means one less sale to the multinational
100%. No, 100%. And also, you don't just drink the same brewery all the time. That's the whole point of if you're into craft beer, you want to try as many different beers and stuff. And if people like you guys can help up and coming breweries become good, then that's amazing.
But it was the same, you know. We came from digital design and branding agencies, and like you don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Actually,
talk.
no,
The
no,
whole
no,
idea
not
of
even-
sharing ideas on
That's
concepts or
alien.
lines of code or whatever is just not. It's not a thing, and it was so refreshing actually coming into this industry. You know, and working with brewers, with distillers.
Well,
you know,
we had
like,
we had
everyone was just so
another
lovely, you know,
we had another local independent bar, Pipeworks in Pontyclean, and Simon supported
Simon's
us,
amazing.
and like nicest guy in the industry,
Yeah.
like helped us out so much, gave us so much knowledge that we didn't have. We were complete novices. We hadn't got a clue what we were doing. We thought we knew what we were doing, and we've learned by
This is sounding very.
Hello Fire. You know, it's a dumb
But
word.
it's been
Don't
quite
worry.
nice because since then we've had 2 other Cardiff places come to us since our direct draw
Yeah.
system asking us how we set up.
Yeah.
We've been quite happy to share, you know, one of them in particular, we sent the details for our cellar install guide
That's brilliant.
over.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was like, well, yeah, no, it works.
They'll
It's
tell
really good. So, you know,
another
yeah.
50 people. See,
It is
Yeah.
check these
truly,
guys out.
truly amazing and unique industry to be part of.
It is.
And I cannot think of any other industry that compares in any way.
Absolutely
No,
not. No. I was at Seabird 2020 just before COVID hit, and I was speaking to a can manufacturer there, and he was saying it's refreshing because we make food machines as well, making cuts or whatever they make, and the food industry apparently is very secret. It's so
based on secret,
so
isn't it?
secret.
Secret ingredients.
Yeah. And he said it's so refreshing to be making a can machine, being here, and everyone's having a good laugh together. And do you think that might be the key ingredient is beer? We all have a few beers, and all of a sudden we chin wag a little bit. And do you think it's just purely it's a great
I
product
think
that we
it's
have?
the passion of beer.
Yeah.
It's the passion
And
of beer.
And nobody sticks to one brand. It's very
Yeah.
different from the gone of the days. It's not like your Heinz or whether you have to eat Heinz beans or that type of thing. With beer, people want to drink
Everything.
You want to
everything.
learn.
Yeah.
And I think as well, I think, you know, something you touched on, which is, you know, helping people to discover and then support independent breweries rather than going down the bigger route. So I think the louder the industry shouts together, the more traction you get, the more people are going to be interested, the more people will buy into it, rather than pitching against each other and kind of talking in
Yeah.
silence.
Yeah, that's the point. We have a commonality of purpose.
Yeah.
And it is to see craft grow as a whole.
Absolutely.
Because we have one common enemy, and that is the macros.
Yes.
So as long as you're drinking our beer, Tiny Rebels beer, whoever's beer, as long as it isn't John Smith's or Heineken or whatever, then fantastic.
And it's that accessibility and that education and that kind of just building craft beer up to being, you know, this thing that's awesome that people really want to get behind.
And this isn't any way as saying don't go out and drink what beer you want to drink. Drink whatever you want to drink. If that means you know you want to drink certain macro brands, you drink those macro brands. But we want people to drink independent because that's the macros aren't doing it for passion. We're doing it for passion. They're doing it for money. All the other breweries like us out there are doing it because we love beer. And you know, especially with the climate, the economy the way it is, I can understand why people do drink, you know, beer that's less than £1 a can because they can get it in a supermarket at a certain price point. But as we all grow as brewers, and there'll be some breweries out there who are bigger than us who can afford to do, you know, the Brewdog, for example, can afford to do beer much cheaper than we can. You can go out, you can buy a multi-pack of Brewdog very cheaply. So at least it's going to some semi-independent business, not a Heineken or
And I think that's down to, you know, we felt that as a responsibility as well when we set up our bar. You know, we got offered, you know, we had approaches from people saying, well, we'll buy fridges for you, we'll pay for your cellar fit out. But we wanted to support other independent businesses.
So we turned all that down.
Yeah, so we're independent and we only buy from independents.
So we're completely in control. We don't have to agree to have anything. There's certain beers we keep on permanently just
because
because
you like them.
you like it.
yeah, that's steady volume man for me. It's one of my all-time favourite beers.
Yeah,
and it's
I'm
a permanent one on tap.
I
because
always
I love
start
it.
with a steady
There's
volume.
no
I always
affiliation.
start,
I don't have to do it, but we want to do it
Yeah.
because it works really well for us, and I love that
I
bit.
think you'd be really
Yeah,
upset
yeah.
if you
I would
walked into
be.
our bar and
Yeah.
So in terms of context for that, so when you're doing a bar fit out or building a bit bar for the first time, the biggest expense is your cellar, the equipment you use to pour the beer.
Yeah.
So it's such a big chunk of capital expenditure. And
Oh.
if somebody comes up to you and says, I will pay for that whole cellar,
Yeah.
all you have to do is sell
Put on
yourself to
3
the devil.
lines or whatever.
To put it in perspective, that was a quarter of our total fit out bit of the cost of our total fit out.
Yeah, such a big
And,
chunk.
and I get why it's attractive to certain people because
100%.
they'll fit it out for you. You've avoided that expense. They'll then do maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah.
So anything goes wrong,
Yeah.
you just
All
pick up the
mate.
phone.
Yeah.
Someone comes running. They deal with that. Whereas, what do you learn by that? I mean, you've installed yours.
Well, that's it.
therefore,
I
anything goes
literally,
wrong.
I'm an expert
you know how
on
to deal
that,
with
it.
on
Absolutely.
that cellar
Yeah.
now. I know exactly if something goes wrong. I know exactly what's wrong with it. Why beer's not pouring. If something stops working, I can fix it.
And I remember the day that the guys came out to put the taps in. We had this big brand new walk-in fridge, catering big walk-in fridge, and we wanted them to drill holes
Yeah, straight
through
into
it.
And they've never
And
they've
they
never
were
done
just-
anything
so
like
you
that.
Well,
want to put
like,
holes
really?
in your really
You want us to
expensive
do
fridge?
what?
You're like, yes, please.
14 holes in what is a 10 grand fridge, and we were like, yes.
Go for
By
it.
the way, can you measure it properly? 'Cause
Yeah.
if you get that wrong, that's
Yeah, we want them straight.
Yeah.
Start small and get bigger.
And,
You
and
can't
also,
do it.
and also when they commissioned it, because ultimately the cellar setup is identical to any cellar. It's just obviously you haven't got the flash chilling bit, and they hadn't quite got their head around. They were like, I still don't know whether this is going to pour properly. I mean, they had all the beers in chilling, and they commissioned it, and they poured them through, and they were just like, oh my, I've never seen
I think-
anything like this.
I think
It
bless
blew
them
my
actually.
mind.
I think the conversation I remember having on the phone was, why do you want it at 4? Because you can have it at 9.
Yeah, oh god.
Where the spoons do that and it works fine. I was like,
No.
we're having it at
No, absolutely not.
If ever you needed to convince somebody,
You just answered your own question.
Yeah. Honestly, they didn't get it, and we were just like, no, it needs to be 4 degrees.
When
That's
we,
what
when we go
I'll be
down,
back in 2.
when we go
Straight up the stairs, mate.
he's going to have a moment after the Wetherspoons comment.
when we pay a visit later on, I'd like you to show me a cellar, and I might just sit in there and stay in there because they were
Oh,
so
yeah, it's
warm.
like-
Oh, honestly,
Yeah.
no,
It's the
it
place to be
is
at the
lovely.
moment.
Isn't
Yeah,
it? There's not
we're
much space.
lucky.
There's not much
I'll sit on a
space.
keg and
I think there were times last summer. So normally, I mean, our team are fantastic at our cellar management, but it's cold, so everyone's like, oh, I have to get a hoodie to go in.
yeah.
Times last summer, people were like, I'm just going into the
Yeah.
fridge for a minute to
Check
arrange
it on
something.
board.
It's
Well, to
like,
put it in
check it.
perspective, we're running our fridge is only 3 metres by 2.5, and at any one time there'd be 50 odd kegs in there, plus the wine and the
Yeah.
cans of beers being kept chilled, because even all our canned beers are either kept in fridges in the bottle shop or they're refrigerated in the back. So
Yeah.
we are literally. There's a small corridor down the centre, and you have to climb over slightly to change stuff. But
Oh, it's going to be awful for you guys as well. Like, it's fine for us.
Can't turn.
well, no, it's more the height. It's only
Yeah.
2.4 high. No, not even that high.
I was going to say, I'm only 1.9 metres, I think, so if it's 2.4.
No, it's not 2.4. No, that's what I was supposed to spec. It's the lower side of it. Yeah, it's tiny. I don't hit. I just about don't hit my head.
We've got a member of our team, Tom, who's 6'4", and he has terrible trouble in there.
Obviously hitting his head on the lights.
Yeah.
So one of the things we went to see, at the festival yesterday, Amundsen Brewery are one of our favourite friends in the industry. They make really crazy pastry stouts and all sorts of really wild beers, which is similar to us. One of the things we love about the guys is the beers are amazing, but their brewer Jürgen, who came to Brewers last year, he makes me and Lee feel small. Like we stand up and we're looking and talking to him, I'm just like, I'm sick of talking to you guys.
How many more do we need?
So trade secret on this
Two
one,
more.
choose
Right,
the next
two more,
beer,
okay.
you need to rotate it.
Yeah,
It's
so
proof
that,
content.
when we had the cans delivered, they were really confused. They had
Yes,
me, because I opened the box and said, oh, they've got all their labels on
Upside down.
I did that about 2 hours ago. I was like, oh, they've made a mistake, but you haven't.
No,
You
no,
haven't.
It's super high
Right.
fruit content beer, so we keep turning
It's because
it.
we
That's
forgot
the right
to
way
put
round.
something on the
Go on,
actual-
Tim. Explain to our audience what's going on.
Yeah, so the label's upside down. It's not a mistake. The reason for that is
Really
you want them
Yeah.
to rotate it because it's packed so full of fruit. How much when it's
1.8 tons.
1.8
Wow,
tons?
wow.
And obviously you need to kind of give it
it's
a
such a
thing
cool
to ensure
bit.
that we distribute the fruit. I think even if you have it on keg, it tells you to
Yeah,
shake it daily.
And
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
basically an innocent fruit smoothie.
Oh my goodness! Look at it. I'm going to drink
I
this.
need a glass, so I'm going to wait. That's
all
alright, it's fine.
Mal's cleaning.
Whoa, that was
Sorry.
wasting precious
At least
beer.
it's not caught on camera or anything.
Yeah, it's not recorded for prosperity forever.
Make sure no one slips on that.
Oh,
I'm so excited about this.
I am really
This is
excited.
right up my
And you've
street.
got this on keg.
Do
I
you
think
know-
that we put it on
No.
can. We haven't
We-
got
we
it on
had-
My apologies. My
No, we got
apologies.
it can, but-
Mainly because it's like
I got Daniel Bell really excited.
the-
there.
Yeah,
Sorry, Daniel.
we could.
The
Daniel, we
lineup's
should start a petition
amazing.
And we can.
Well, Daniel will probably pick one of these up, I'm sure.
Oh,
Look at it. It is basically, innocent fruit smoothie. It's just.
absolutely.
And this beer's 8%, and I guarantee
Oh,
you
Christ.
that this is the fastest of the beers that you will consume.
And this is a collab with Vault
This
City
will be
as well,
gone
isn't it?
with Vault City,
So I'm
yeah.
huge fans of
We
Vault
are
City.
massive fans of Vault City.
Yeah.
Vault City.
Absolute experts when it comes
It
to
went
this
sour.
kind of thing,
They,
yeah.
I reckon they're the godfathers of
just-
It
sours.
wasn't too much. It was
They
just
are
a tiny
incredible.
bit that I haven't made a mess.
So we
Yeah,
heard a
well,
little
awesome.
while ago that Vault City are now the second biggest sour producer in Europe.
Thank you.
After Boone and
Wow.
Baltic. And they were founded in
8%,
2019.
That's just.
Yeah.
We just
It
did
doesn't-
their.
Yeah.
2019.
Doesn't taste like-
2019.
I didn't realise it was that. I thought they'd been going a bit longer than that.
We were just part of their launch of their
So-
core range, and that cloudy lemonade that
They did a cloudy lemonade and they did, what was it?
the strawberry sundae.
Strawberry sundae. And that one we had to shake the keg every single day for it. Although actually, we
that
didn't
all
have to because it only lasted one day.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Do you mind me?
Bubbles on that.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
It's like the Staggeringly Good do one called Cherry Bomb or something like that. It ends up with bubbles like that.
Oh,
Of course,
that's
I
so
need to die on my sword at this stage. I need to get this bit out of the way, so I'm going to be very quick with it. I watched. Well, how do I even start this conversation?
You're being very
How,
quick with that.
how do I even start this conversation? I've been.
That's insane, isn't it?
Beautiful.
I have been slightly controversial. I've made a couple of videos talking about this modern sour beer.
Yeah, there's not much sour about ours, is there? This one.
No, I haven't tried it. I
No,
haven't
Whoa,
sipped it.
sorry,
I haven't
now.
sipped
We
it.
haven't got that one.
The question I got to you guys is, do you think that? I mean, let's try it first. Let's not, let's get it.
That's insane. That is literally
Gorgeous.
just drinking fruit juice.
Yeah.
And yeah, you would not say that's 8% at all.
Right.
I wouldn't have said there's alcohol in it.
No, it
That
literally
is
tastes like the
incredible.
syrup.
It's incredible beer. Do you think though that it needs another name? Now we got
Okay.
brewers in the room.
Yeah.
It's
I see what
for
you're
me
talking about.
Belgian sours. We've all tried.
Yeah.
I tried them at your brewery.
So,
I can't skip the subject because I've tried to
no,
tackle it on YouTube.
it's a fair
and-
question. So, I mean,
yeah.
can you still call that beer?
When is beer
No,
still-
sour
when is
beer. No,
Oh.
sour. So that
Oh,
was
sorry.
that was my
That's
beam
animal.
rattling round in there.
That was a kid storming out.
So we had this conversation in the bar just yesterday, actually. And our bar manager now talks to people about house, and he said, you can't even think of it as beer. Just don't think of it as beer. Think of it as something completely different. And I think, it's certainly with the heavily fruited ones,
Yeah.
because it does put people off, especially kind of newbies. We had a couple in yesterday who wanted a third of all 14 lines, and then you say, right, do you want the cider? No. Do you want the lager? No. Do you want the stout? No. Do you want the sour? No, it's like,
No.
yeah, you do. Like
Yeah,
you want
yeah,
the stout,
yeah.
you want the stout, and you want the sour. And it is like sour. It's sometimes.
And I've tried to tackle it, but I'm really pleased that we're drinking a beer like I can talk about
Yes.
brewers where you may have seen the video crop up on you. I don't know, but I have made a couple of videos saying, what is this modern sour? Does it even mean sour? Does it need a new name?
I would say it probably needs multiple names because sour is so broad as a thing
Yes.
that to call something a sour, you can't give somebody one expectation of what that could be because it can be in so many things.
Well,
So you've got your Belgian things, which the godfathers of the sours, where you're going to have this thing that's got this complexity of your wine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
And it's taken 3 years to be perfected, and it's blended, and and you've got
It would be sacrilege to the Belgians if we gave them this.
Oh, yeah, this
So
is
you've got that, and then you've got a kettle sour, like a Berliner Weiss, traditional German style,
Yeah.
low ABV, sub 3%. not much like bold character to it, just really clean, easy drinking sour. And then you've got these ones that are ridiculously adulterated, like these kind of things. Yet they're all sours. They're all the same thing as we currently classify them.
Right.
So I agree. There needs to be a better way of getting people's heads around. Well, yeah, they've all got lower pH, but are they really the same thing?
I just accused myself of getting old. I was like, I must be getting old. Because I went into this channel. I went into this channel like I wanted to be the most open, and then I found myself not being open. And you've hit the nail on the head. Where yes, it is. There's such a broad spectrum of what sour beer should be. I think it's terrific, by the way. I've always enjoyed these, and I've always said that in the reviews, but I never agreed with the word sour. That was the only one word I was like,
This is a
don't
very
get
accessible
it.
sour.
Yeah.
Because some of them are that lip puckery, and I love that. So
Yeah.
I like the, as I try and describe it, tangfastics. It's that kind of that mouthfeel and that what you're expecting. But
Makes
this
your
is
teeth go.
but this is really
Well, I
accessible.
always remember we had a lady in the bar and she was always drinking the fruited ciders and she loved the fruited ciders and she said, I don't like beer.
Yes,
I don't drink
I
beer. And I
remember
said, well, you
this.
just haven't met the beer that
Yeah.
you like yet. And at that time we had a cherry sour on that was, really like fruity, really good buzz. And she was drinking the blueberry fruited cider. And I said, let me try this, have a sample of this. She ordered a pint of it and she loved it. She said that was the first beer she'd ever had, and she was like, "I found my beer."
But the thing is, it's a good move from cider into thing, because we have certain beers that we have that we sort of recommend when you're moving from a lager. I only drink lager. No.
Try this.
Let's try this, and all of a sudden
Gateways,
it's the gateway, and we call it gateway beers, and we're always looking at how
American
we
Pale
can.
Ale is the route in from the lager.
Yeah, but it's like for us, it's Lerwick House Party. It's quite an interesting one, or if we have something else on.
Things like Bibble as well, and that kind of something that
Well,
just
yeah.
steps,
It's just something that's not too crazy. It's just a subtle. It's just something that, or some of the ones that have almost got a slight lagery characteristic to it is always a good one to say. Just try something. Like hops aren't bad. Like I know you're not used to them, but like try something with some hops.
There's a new style that's hit it off in the US. We've done it once ourselves in the UK. The cold IPA. You had many of those?
Oh, do you know what? That's going massive.
That's a
We're seeing
really
it
good
more and
gateway
more and
beer.
more. Well, yeah, that's it. 'Cause it's brewed with lager yeast, isn't it?
Yeah, lager yeast, lots of pills and malts. So the foundation is a lager, but then it's essentially a West
got one of
Coast
yours
style.
on coming. Yeah,
Yes,
one of yours on
we got that one coming on, and we had one
I
from
can't stop
Cloudwater
drinking
as
that.
well. We had one from
It's
Cloudwater
super
at their
easy
tap
and-
takeover at our place as well.
It's just a really popular style, and something we love about it is a lot of modern craft beers moving now towards. Beer's massively influenced what happens in America, and you've got your West Coast and East Coast. West Coast America, more piney, bitter styles. East Coast, easy drinking, smooths.
Cadlighters?
Yeah, and we're big fans of West Coast, and one of the things about cold IPA is it's West Coast. So it's typically that style.
But it's the kind of clean, crisp, refreshing character of the Pilsner,
Yep.
but with the kind of bitter resin, floral nature of a West Coast IPA. So that's like two great things coming together in one style.
It's really because literally it's come from nowhere. Like all of a sudden this year we've seen loads of people doing it, and we hadn't seen that last year in any of the beers on any of the lists as we were looking at. But we've suddenly seen it
To
really
play
kick
havoc
off.
with our glass washer. in the
Yeah,
bar.
I was going to say that's and your lines as well. So your beer lines will need a good clean
So,
afterwards.
That's
Simon,
all right,
have
that's
you had many cold IPAs yet?
Cold IPA.
Cold
Yeah.
IPA,
Yeah,
You'll have one tomorrow.
brewed with lager, yeast,
Okay.
and Pilsner malts.
I don't think I have, to be honest.
So-
I don't think I have.
In a way, it's a bit like a dry hop lager or India Pilsner.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever
India
they
Pale
call it.
Lager.
Yeah.
India Pale Lager. But those ones are designed to be kind of have a delicate hop character in them, whereas this one's more like the West Coast, and it's got an intense hop character on top of the lager base.
Okay.
Really cool.
Right.
It really works.
Well, we've
try
got
it.
one on tomorrow for you, so you'll be able to try it then.
Jumping back on your topic though, Simon, so the sour itself, and how that name doesn't really justify the range of beers that now fit under it. So we mentioned Belgian sours, soured naturally, wild fermentation and things like that. And typically in the UK, if we do a sour, we'll kettle sour. Lee mentioned that. and that means we start the process off in our kettle when we're doing the boil, and then we'll keep it there overnight, drop the pH down, and then we'll boil it again the next day to kill off all the wild bacteria,
Lactobacillus.
and then we'll finish fermenting the beer as normal with as you would any beer. This beer is still done in that same way.
All right.
We still try and get a sour taste to it, but there's that much fruit goes in. It doesn't really taste like a sour
Right.
beer anymore.
No.
Okay.
But you've got a very subtle sour taste to it, but it
Tartness.
has, it's a tartness. It's almost like drinking. It's basically fresh fruit juice.
Yeah,
That's
you get
basically
acidity
it.
from
At
fruit,
8%.
We had fresh squeezed orange juice
Yes.
that has the same kind of just pinch
And-
of
and the
apple sound.
Is there any lactose in this?
Yes.
I thought there might be. Yeah. No, it's got a mouthfeel. I could get that. I was just checking.
The pH at which you present different things is going to affect the way in which they come across flavour-wise. So you need to get the flavour right for any hop to get them to present in the way that you want them to do. And as you fluctuate the pH, they're going to present themselves differently.
Okay.
And fruit is the same. So guava is not a massively intense character as a fruit. But if you present that at a lower pH, it becomes this real zingy juice bomb. We were discussing earlier the Viva la Guavolution that we do.
Yes.
Whereas,
Yeah.
I mean, you eat a guava, you're not going to be enthralled by it. But if you get guava at a low pH, you're like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Guava is one of my favourite fruits in beer. It's such a good, in sour beer in particular.
I also love, we talked about shape sour and this one's really spiky.
Oh, yeah.
For a sour, I really
Extremes.
like that.
It's upside down as well.
It's one of those things, but because for me, I am you've seen the kitchen. I am just a man in the kitchen, opening a can of beer and pouring it, and I generally ask the question to my audience, and it's so great because I never have an answer. Well, I get comments, of course, but to have an answer back from a brewery, to be able to talk through this whole process, is next level for me. It really is next level. You've probably seen the titles. Yes, they're a little bit clickbaity and stuff, but I need people to watch the videos. We're all trying to make a bit of a living. But
I have a feeling this is a snowball, isn't it?
no. I'm not going to let this snowball. It's just I am speaking just to a camera here, and I'm not getting anything back. So I'm not a brewer. It's almost like it's great to ask the question, but people sometimes think I'm being overly negative, which is fine, but it's great to have an answer. It's great to have, and I thank you for that. And that's the end of the snowball.
No, absolutely our pleasure to be here. And what I meant by snowball was, hopefully you've enjoyed this to the point
Oh, right, I thought
where you will want to do this again.
I wouldn't know.
No. I
But
think
the point is, it's not
having the extended.
It's
Yeah.
almost like being part of a conversation.
It is.
And that's
It's
it's like
fantastic.
being able to sit and listen to a conversation,
Yeah.
which.
For the people at home being able to see what us beer geeks talk about when we go to the pub. So sometimes we do go a little bit over the top in detail and stuff, but that's not we try. It's only when we're trying to explain things. Sometimes we do go over the top, but usually it's just very simple for us. It's what makes the beer something we enjoy, and what do you think other people enjoy, and we try and do that.
Sorry if I'm going to interject. So over the course of the last 26 months, when we started doing our YouTube thing to go alongside our subscription service, we've done it with audience, without audience, as lockdowns came and went and so forth. And it really does make a difference to have somebody in the room where you're doing it for that audience there. But to have someone in the room that you can kind of feed off and see a reaction, and it really does make a difference. So
This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant.
So-
It doesn't feel like I'm doing the stone crawl on my own.
if I could make a suggestion,
Yeah.
absolutely bring people here. But
Yeah.
maybe there's another local venue that you could use to do something
Yeah,
like
well,
it.
you know.
Do the lives. Well, wouldn't that be great if we did like a once a month?
may have
Oh
just
my
stitched you up
goodness
there,
me! Yeah. Light
As
bulb.
long as you find it on the right day.
So
Yeah.
you're down again next month.
Maybe not next one. Give us a couple of months.
But we found it was
Set your camera up tomorrow night and
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
found it really interesting. So I think, we're certainly on one side of that conversation, you guys are on the other, and we had Cloudwater down doing a tap takeover before us a couple of months ago and chatting with Paul, and it was really interesting how aligned we were, despite the fact that we hadn't had that conversation before. Whereas you guys are just trying to communicate, you said, this passion and get people interested in that, and that's all we're trying to do as well, is showcase how good it is, and that's what you're doing through your channel.
But it's
as well.
also-
Just trying to make it accessible and.
But
Yeah,
it's also a conversation. I mean, like I get super excited about our direct draw system, and I'll
He really does.
I'll talk behind
I love
legs
this
off the
system.
donkey, but
Best from yourself.
every so often when I've taken said, do you want to put it? They're like, yeah, and I'm like, oh okay. I didn't realise.
Yeah, Wayne's not even joking. The second we get across your threshold, he needs to see us.
Yeah, but that's
Maybe
cool.
because it's 4 degrees. No, it is cool. It literally is cool.
But the point is that I think we underestimate if you're into craft beer, actually you're getting to see behind the curtain, and what we may see as slightly mundane or just what we do on an everyday basis is the stuff that it's like having VIP access to come and see all that kind of stuff. And when we take people behind and they see that cellar, they're like, oh my god, I've never seen anything like this, or I didn't know this is what it was. They just see they just see the taps on the front, or when we talk about some of the other stuff that we do, it's actually this is really useful for. I think it's really positive for everyone to hear how you work and what you do and all that kind of stuff. So.
And if you want to see it, there's a video called Craft Beer or Beer in Barry. Check out Beer in Barry. I talked to these guys
Series
and
one, episode 1.
Yeah.
It actually is series 1 episode.
Do you know what Mel? Do you know what Mel jokes with me all the time? He said there's never going to be a series 2. It's going to be series 1, episode
It
255,000.
depends whether you're English with your or American, because American's 24 episodes, English BBC's like 6 episodes.
Yeah,
Something like
oh right, I didn't even
yeah,
know that
you
concept. I
could-
didn't even know that.
Apparently these days you have series part one,
Part
where
Yeah.
you can have a chunk of episodes, and then it's not a new series; it's the second part of that
Continuation.
series.
Yeah.
It's a new series.
Yeah, exactly. I always thought there was going to be like a little break, maybe for winter, and then series 2 for the spring. Yeah, but brilliant. But Mel, you haven't spoken about this beer. I know you love it because I've been watching your eyes.
Love it.
I was just-
100%
Go
love
on.
it.
It's 8% though. We wouldn't tell
Yeah, it's
anyone it's
8%, but it's not boozy in any way at all.
Mel wasn't coming out tonight. Now she is.
You are.
She's coming out
You
for
are.
some takeaway. Yeah, or a meal somewhere. Yeah, we're going out.
So,
It's lush.
Go on.
It is just lush.
I love
Just
that.
a well.
I love that word.
we're gonna
Yeah.
put it on the
Mel's
Yeah,
English.
it's lush.
Mel's from Salisbury. I trained her to use the word lush.
I remember back in my early nightclubbing days, I used to drink something called Reef.
Yes.
Yeah.
Orange juice,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Bacardi.
Yeah.
that is like, because I remember some drinking, it's like
Second
orange juice and
grown up
pineapple
version.
juice, and yeah.
I
this
remember
is-
going home from a nightclub early because of too many weeks. No, because of the acidity of it, it made me double over. I was having stomach cramps.
I was going to say.
straw pedos.
Straw so the comment that he's got is about straw pedo in them. So I'm exactly the same. When I was at university, we used to go to the Horrible Spoons place, and used to get a bottle of Reef for £1 and a bottle of Grolsch for £1, and we did a grief. So straw pedo in each, and then see the absolutely vile. But yeah, I do not condone that. Do not do that.
They were the days.
That was
Yeah.
But being responsible, we should say, drink responsibly.
Yeah, drink. Yeah. Make sure.
If you're
Yeah.
going to straw pedo anything, make sure it's juice.
Please don't drink in the sunshine. I sat at a bar once. It's now a Tesco just up the road here, and it was called the Royal Hotel. And I sat with my cousin, and we said we were going to drink every single flavour of Bacardi Breezer back in the day, and there was like 12 of them. And I remember waking up, went to work. And funnily enough, I worked in a place where it was just a government. I had to sort files out. This place was 4 football pitches wide, and I put files.
Archiver.
I was an archiver. That's it.
That's the word.
But there was a little room with a bed. And I remember I started work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I must have been. I drove to work, and I got to work, still maybe slightly inebriated. And I remember just going to bed, and my boss shaking me at 9 o'clock, saying, "What are you doing?" After these 12 Bacardi freezers.
Oops.
Needless to say,
Yeah.
I don't work there anymore.
No, I carried on for a few more months after that.
So if everyone doesn't mind saying hello to Sal, who's watching
Hey,
us.
Sally.
Hello, Sal. How you doing,
Hey,
Sal?
Sal.
And everybody else at Craft Republic and Brew.
Exactly, everybody's tuned in, but Sal's
Yeah.
my partner. We normally watch Stone the Crows at home together, so I'm here, so Sal's at home with the dog watching. So
Amazing, amazing.
say hello to Tia as well, the little dog.
Yeah,
Thanks.
fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's great. Is anyone burning in this?
I am
in-
now that Tim's moved.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was my shade.
Yeah.
This is one of the big downsides of this beer is the state it will make your glass. So
It is incredible,
it's so
isn't it?
viscous. It's all the fruit that went into it. It's
So say it again, Lee. How many tons?
1.8 tons.
1.8 tons of fruit. You can see it on the side of the glass. Just
We were
fantastic.
big fans. So Gypsy Hill did a beer Taffa Taffa, which was their like Mai Tai sour. Our bar manager's huge fans of it. And we've had it on draft once. And when it came to the end of the keg, it was pouring like absolute pulp.
Ooh.
And what you ended up twice, sorry. And what we got, I remember our bar manager calling me over and saying, "Would you like the end of the keg?" Like,
Ooh,
yes, please.
yes.
I had this pint glass of just
Juice.
juice.
Mm.
Amazing. But yeah, the line cleaning afterwards was.
Yeah, but this is borderline not being able to call it beer. So
It's
for it to be beer, fruit can only constitute 49%
Oh.
of the ingredient
Is
by
that
weight.
German or Belgian law, or is that UK
No,
law?
that's UK law. It's taxation
Really?
law.
Oh.
Yeah, if we stepped over 50%, it'd have to be taxed as a different type of drink.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting. That's really
So
interesting.
yeah, I forget who it is. Someone actually does a sour, fruit sour in the UK called the 50-50, which is, that might even be Vault City actually. I think they've done some 50-50s where they've pushed it to the absolute legal limit.
Wow.
Where it might be a gram under at being able to call it beer.
That helps though, doesn't it? I mean, God forbid we start talking about taxation and everything because it might go the wrong way, but that like getting the message out there. Like I remember being in Belgium again and they were talking about Czech and German taxation. We'll have to be really quick on this because it's political. But we're like the third highest in Europe and we're taxed on alcohol. And it's such an integral part of the UK community, pubs and, you know, we all, whenever you watch EastEnders or Coronation Street, it's always the pub. They always centralise
Yeah,
on the
it's-
pub.
it's the-
It wouldn't exist without the pub, would it?
No, absolutely.
How would that programme exist if they didn't have a pub? Yet we're taxed
The hub of the community,
to
absolutely.
the hilt.
Yeah.
Taxed to the hilt.
And without getting too geeky.
Exactly, we can't go too- yeah,
but
yeah.
Taxation has massively influenced British beer production over the years. So once upon a time, our beer culture was very similar to Belgium. We had strong beers, and we would drink them in smaller measures. But then over time, after the wars, they brought in the taxation. They had to use less raw materials to make the drinks. So then our alcoholic content of our beers plummeted to become the kind of sub
3%.
sort of sub
Ration.
those kind of things. And then that culture's sustained. So now we as a culture expect to drink volume rather than extreme kind of ABV.
Which goes against everything we push against. It's all about quality over quantity.
I've got 8 cans of McEwen's Export in my fridge from yesterday's barbecue. 'Cause my dad will turn up.
I
Bragging,
go
is
away
that
for one night.
My dad turned up with 8 cans of McEwen Export. He poured one for him and my mum.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then no.
After the 12% that we're going to be doing this.
He tried my IPA, the Crew Republic IPA, and
Yes.
See you in half an hour.
yeah. And he said, I don't want to drink McEwen's Export anymore. But he's still gravitating towards that 3.2. How much can you get for your money?
Yeah.
Cheap supermarket. But then he brings it all. That'll be in the fridge for 6 months. You know.
I mean, we find it quite a bit in our bar now. We speak to a lot of our customers who say for them going out for a night is about sitting and enjoying a few really good beers. It's not about going out and seeing how much you can drink for a tenner.
Exactly.
One of the amazing things we did in Oslo was, so we're fortunate we get to travel a fair bit with our job. So Oslo one weekend,
Barry the
did us,
next.
So
Scotland in between.
Scotland in between, yeah. But yeah, it was really, went to a beer festival out there, really awesome place. We've been at a festival all day. We then got invited to a bar, the Michaela bar out there is called Henry and Sally's, really cool bar, and the manager likes our beer, so he buys our beer all the time. So he's like, "I'll come down. We've got some different beer on, but we've got a private room." So it was a really busy venue. They saved some seats for the different brewers who were there, and we went and we probably spent maybe 2 hours there sipping beer, and it was just amazing to just socialise and sip beer instead of swigging pints. So people you can't swig pints because it's so bloody expensive out there. But
You should have seen the size of the bill by the time we walked away.
yeah,
We were having like the best of the best, but consuming it in small volume.
Of course.
Like Michaela Beer Geek Breakfast, regarded as one of the best stouts there,
word.
and these kind of things. And yeah, they know how to charge for alcohol over there. The beer festival we were pouring at, it was the equivalent of £5 for 100 mils. So you're talking over £25 for a pint.
Whoa.
To have a pint at this festival.
Yeah.
And I think though you said something interesting about that, sitting and chatting over beers. And for us, as bar owners that opened into the pandemic, Craft Republic very much is a locals bar, certainly on Thursday, Wednesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. And at that point where we were told that we had to stop people talking to each other. But we're in a really close-knit community where we are.
Yeah.
And you had, that's my brother-in-law, that's my cousin, that's my next-door neighbour.
Unfortunately, they weren't part of the
The
group at that
bubble,
point
or
of the bubble, or they weren't part
and
of
we
the
have-
six
and
or
it was-
four, whatever it
bar, you
was.
can sit together. And
Or a cup- or a
We didn't have that. We
or a
didn't
cup
even
of
have
coffee.
that here. We weren't even allowed to do
200
that.
likes. 200 likes. Come on.
But for us now, we're seeing that, and we have these what we call the chatty tables. So we have these tables of two that sit next to each other, and every Friday night, you guarantee by 9 o'clock, whoever sat on them has asked for them to be put together because they just start chatting to each other. And that for us, as a more of a locals bar, as a community.
Oh no, we are. We are lot. He's
No
just
way.
come straight back on.
I love cheapers.
Sorry, guys.
We're back. We're back. We are back. Sorry, we had a temperature. What did it say?
The iPhone got too hot.
Wayne, what is the temperature? Something.
too much amazing content. It shut down because it's too much
We're
good
too
stuff.
hot.
We'd had the phone sat in direct
What
sunlight,
then?
and then the temperature got too high and it just turned itself
Daniel
off.
Whale, can you
So
hear
we
us?
briefly put it in the fridge, we cooled it down, and now we're going again.
Do you
So
all mind
it looks
just?
like we can still get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
back.
back.
Can we
Amazing.
hit the like button? Hit the like button down below. And can we all have a little thumbs up? We got £175
So
super chat.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Right, glass ladies coming.
Thank the glass ladies coming. Not the bag lady, not the cat lady, the glass lady.
Wow.
Can we share? Can we share? Like, can we like? Get it back to where it was. The iPhone was in the sun, and the iPhone nearly caught fire. That's what it basically said. We are back. It was a.
Thanks, Mel.
But Barry Toner, who has put this £175 super chat out, unbelievable. Thank you
Need to
all.
read what you
And
said.
everyone is saying thank you
Can we
here.
see what you said, yeah?
Yeah,
Can I
go on,
press
click
that
it.
one?
Go on,
There you
read
go.
it.
Oh no, you should read that one.
Okay. I'm just going to read the £175. Not to bring everyone down, but I've supported this channel on and off, and I'm unfortunately terminally ill at 41 years of age. Thank you for the years of entertainment, Simon.
Thank you for what?
Barry Toner, this is thank you so very
I'm
much.
so sorry.
Well, I think we need to charge
need
our
to
glasses
toast.
and we need to drink to Barry.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was about to get emotional. I'm going to go to the toilet. Thank you very much, Barry.
We're gonna toast to you, man.
There you go.
Thank you. This looks cocoa, is it?
It's,
Yeah, it's a
salted
salted caramel
caramel.
tong cocoa.
Have you been following my teeth?
Oh my
yeah.
word.
To you, Barry.
Cheers, Barry.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Barry.
Barry, cheers.
We saved the 12% until last.
Oh, goodness gracious
Oh.
me.
So what
Good
we're drinking
Lord.
now is
Good Lord. Good
arguably the beer that Brew York has made its name on is a beer called Tonkoko, which was a 4.3% milk stout that we released for York Beer Festival in 2016. Thank you. And it's been infused with coconut and cacao and vanilla and something called tonka beans. Tonka beans. I think people know more about them now, but back then
Only
people
thanks
didn't
to you,
know,
actually.
know so much about them. They're a kind of South American ingredient, a bit like a tree nut, and they have this kind of almondy, marzipan-y kind of type character to them. So we did that beer back then. It was so successful, we've then done different beers in this series. So we stepped up to 7.5 for Imperial Tonkoko, we then did Empress at 10.6, and then that gets barrel aged once a year in a selection of different wooden barrels. This year we've done 3 different ones. What you'll be able to look forward to next year is Rum and Heaven Hill Bourbon and Buffalo Trace, I think. Yeah, check back next January for that one. So we've then done various different other things that we've played around with the flavours. And one of the most recent ones is this salted caramel edition, where we step the ABV up yet further to 12%. And then, captured some
Do you know what
salted
it
caramel.
reminds me of? You know when you get those supermarket creme caramels and they always have like
Yeah.
that kind of caramel like liquid on the top?
On the top,
Yeah,
yeah.
They go
yeah,
back.
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
it's like.
yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
boozy version of that.
Intense.
It's amazing.
But not too boozy. I wouldn't
No.
know that that's 12%.
But it's like heavy and it's like
Yeah.
complex.
It's got what you want.
Yeah.
So one of the things, challenges we always have when we make a beer like this, coconut. So we brewed loads of different beers, and this is one of the first ones we used which had any adjunct. And when we say adjunct, it means things like tonka bean, vanilla, coconut, and cacao. So we're bringing something else to a beer that's outside of the traditional German styles. And one of the challenges we have with a beer like this is that coconut kills the head retention. So that the oils in coconut mean that you get pretty much zero head on your pint. So I've had a couple of mouthfuls, but it looks like I'm drinking like a brandy and coke or something,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's just gone. And we could make sure we could make it, brew the beer like this and make sure you have a great head on the pint, but we wouldn't get the coconut flavour. So we think it's worth sacrificing the head on the pint to get this flavour profile.
Yeah, you should be in front of us, Sam,
Yeah.
not behind us.
I love listening. I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
But yeah, it's it's one of the sacrifices we make on this beer. When we first started brewing Tonkoko, myself and Lee and the wider team used to go down to our pork pie supplier and use his commercial ovens and hand toast all the coconut that went into it.
Wow.
And we did this for probably 3 years.
Yeah.
It was the worst job. It was always on a weather like this when we needed to do the toasting.
Yeah.
A badly ventilated kitchen, and we all ended up with loads of burns from transferring these trays of coconut.
I got to the stage where I was like Rambo. I'd have blue roll wrapped around my head because it just sweated so much with it. But
I'm a big slice Stallone. Sorry, it might be just behind the. Yeah, you'll see it in a minute.
off camera, there's some Rocky.
We've got some
Yeah, the
vinyl,
big
yeah.
Sylvester Stallone. It's a funny form of DVD. It's a CED video disc. It's massive. Massive CDs from the 80s. Yeah.
I remember that.
There's a flea market in Tremorfa. It's really worth going to.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I think one of the benefits I think of the phone overheating is I think that the shot's much better now. You got everyone pretty much in and out.
Yeah.
A decent size.
Yes, we're all in. We're all in. We're all
It's all
in.
intentional.
And we're not squinting.
Yeah, exactly.
So the sun was down there, and the sun was being. My phone was down there, sorry, and my phone was being cooked, and it just switched off. It said temperature control warning or something or other. We're back.
Simon's too
So-
hot to handle.
Yeah. We're in exactly the same place, Andrew. We're just pointing the other direction.
Well, the other way, yeah, into the abyss, into the big dark hole that is. Yeah.
So yeah, we've gone into the 12% stout at 6:30.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. We are on time though. That's how it is.
Everybody, cheers. So, can you comment down below? Did you really enjoy this event? I mean, I've loved it.
Conversation.
I did. I'm going to log in.
Conversation, exactly. I forgot. Just before we went dead, I turned to the camera and said I forgot I'm live streaming. I completely forgot I was live streaming. We were just having a chat in the sun and wonderful beer talk. And you guys are the fly on the wall, really. And it's just, we were just talking about that, where it becomes so natural that I forgot I was live streaming. It was brilliant. Anyway, yeah, Stone the Crows. Let's dive in.
And if anyone's got any specific questions, like for beer geeky stuff that we normally talk about, you want us to expand upon, then we're happy to do that. But there's a little red thing appeared on screen that looked really cool.
Oh, £4. Is that a super sticker? I think they're called.
All right.
Nice.
£4 super sticker by BAR. Bar. Thank you very much, Bar. Enjoying it.
You sure it's £4, Simon? Because it's a funny colour.
Yeah, it's a it's a sticker.
But
Thing.
yeah, if anybody has any questions related to running a brewery,
Or running a bar.
starting an
Yes,
Yeah.
starting a bar and a bottle
Wonderful.
shop in the middle of the pandemic. Please ask. We're happy
Yeah,
to
it's
answer.
44, I thought so.
Oh, it's 44. Sorry.
So if you
I had to
pick it,
reposition an iPhone when it overheats.
yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Oh,
Look,
it's
I
right.
can like it now.
Barry Toner with another £45. It showed up.
Wow.
Again.
It
Thank
showed
you.
up
It
as
did
£4.
show up for, yeah.
Barry, I went to the toilet, but I did compose myself, and we're all human, and we all deal with
100%.
we all deal with different situations, and yeah. So Barry, I want to say cheers to you. Thank you very much for watching, and just cheers. I'm gonna have a big mouthful of beer for you, mate. Mm.
The beer you've
This is
chosen a
excellent.
big mouthful of is the one that will knock you on the floor.
It's a 12%. Yeah, I gotta
It
get
seems, it seems a good beer to toast with, though.
And you've got to go out afterwards.
We're going out. We're going out. We're going to go out to your bar. And we're
I'm
going
going to
to
ring ahead and warn them that there's going to be someone that you might have to kick out.
Yeah, some feisty
Shame.
Caddiston boy.
I think we can handle that. We'll be alright.
Yeah,
He's used to
oh,
it. He's
yeah.
with us at least once a month.
Yeah.
It is brilliant. It is a brilliant bar because we have forever. If you watch the early videos of my channel, I used to call this place the Abyss.
Oh.
If you watch my early videos, Barry will never catch on. I'm moaning and groaning. It's the Abyss, and then next thing you know, within a few years, we're all hugging, winning this award. And I properly meant that. It wasn't like a. It was just, I can't believe Barry's
Yeah,
just won an award.
But Simon, it was really lovely for you to support us.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Like from day one, you got it, and that's really important to us.
Yeah.
And it was so nice to be able to share it with you at Beer Eggs.
It really was. It was a special
because
moment.
it was.
that
We were
really
literally
was.
sat there. I still remember we were sat at the back, kind of going, God, we're up against bars in London, Liverpool, Birmingham.
Me too. Me
And-
too. I was
and,
like,
and you were sat with us,
oh.
and you said, I'm coming to sit with us, and we were just sitting there, and we were just like, well, it was amazing to be finalists, and then to get that,
Yeah,
and to when they announced our name,
Release.
we were like,
It was released.
What the hell?
It was
What the hell? It
released.
was like there was
Really,
no
it was
way.
released. It was. I mean, I don't know. Like growing up, are you guys from York?
I moved
So
there.
was there ever a point when it felt like the Abyss for you guys, where there was no decent beer, or because you were not too far from Norway, was it always good stuff coming through? Well, there was a boat from Newcastle, and then a boat from Bergen.
I get what you mean. No, I mean, York's a very traditional city. It's a beautiful city, but it's very protective of its tourism, its walls, its minster, all those kind of things, which means growing up there, it probably wasn't the most inspiring place. So I left there and went to Newcastle for a bit. It took coming back to York for me to truly appreciate what York is. York is stunning.
Wonderful.
It's simply stunning.
Wonderful.
It's a beautiful place. But yeah, maybe in the early days I didn't appreciate that, and certainly in the early days the beer options were not good. And it's like when you were saying earlier that you built your bar because you wanted that to exist where you are,
Yeah.
and no one else was doing it. That's why we did what we did.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, nobody was creating what we wanted in the city centre, so we were like,
Yes.
we'll do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as well, so a conversation we were just having before this started was about, the situation at the moment. And actually, we wouldn't be here without the support of people like you and, you guys taking time out of your really super busy schedule to come and chat with us. And I think there's just something about supporting
Yes.
independence and people, good people doing good things. And just
Absolutely.
that community vibe, and especially at the moment.
And it's, I know we're always working and things like that, but it's an amazing privileged position we're in, where our job is to come and talk about beer. So yeah, we are going to
Whilst
do
And to drink beer.
Whilst
This
drinking
is
beer.
this is what we were chatting to some of our customers earlier in the week, and we said we're on tonight, and it's one of those weird ones where you just go, like 3 years ago, I was working in a 9-to-5 corporate job that I hated. It paid well, but it didn't make me happy.
Yeah.
And now we get to do something we absolutely adore, and. What more can you do when you get to do your job, chatting about beer and enjoying it?
I was the main meat guide that opened Asda Barry. If you come down the meat aisle in Asda Barry, when Asda Barry
I don't know where that was going, to be honest.
I put all of that meat, the sausages, everything, the chickens. It was all on the shelf. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that as a joke, but. The chickens on the shelves, everything. I put it all out, and I was proud. I was proud of my little department in Asda, and to think that this has gone full time for me is just wonderful.
But I think the difference that it makes, the difference that one person can make, like with a super chat or with a like, or buying beer online, or coming and buying a pint, leaving a nice review or whatever. As individual business owners, you know, genuinely, like when
We do a happy
your
dance.
feedback, we really like it makes our day.
And
It's such a big
we
thing.
are, you know, we don't have this. People think, oh, they don't see us in the bar every day now because we've got so much going on. I said, oh, you're kicking back. We're not kicking back. Like I'm not. It may not be serving you beer as we were when we first opened, but we're busy behind the scene. We've got a team of 14. We've got 2 businesses. We're doing all the things outside of that. And but we massively appreciate everybody that supports us because you know, like yes, you've made a conscious choice to support a husband and wife team in Barry rather than whether it's with the beer, whether it's with our spirits company, whatever it is, but. You're not supporting a macro and
a faceless organisation.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
like
really important.
we talked about comments, you know, and about social media.
I was just
earlier.
going there. Yeah,
and we were just saying about the difference between, you know, certainly for us, you know, it's like we see every single tweet, email, every review, every Facebook.
And it hurts if it's not
right.
The amazing comments are absolutely fantastic, but the horrible comments.
One single horrible comment can drag you down.
I can lay on my pillow at the end of the night, and I can be awake for hours after a horrible comment, and it's just
polishing off that 12-point.
So am I.
I suppose this has never been touched before, but as watching your business grow and getting it to where you want it to be and being really proud about it, all of a sudden then you're exposed a little bit to, you're a big company now, this is your living now, we can be overcritical now, and
the trolls come out, don't they?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a very British thing to do as well. And if you're in the US and you're the guy driving the Ferrari, the people approach you and go, "What is it that you did to get that Ferrari?" Unfortunately, in the UK, the approach is, "You're a dick. You've got a Ferrari."
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
There's a different.
We have it
culture.
when people see us walking our dog, like, and they're like, "Oh, have you got a day off?" It's like, no, we need 10 minutes out of the house to walk our dog.
We need some time just
wheel over my
to
car.
relax. But it is. There's a perception that yes, on the front of it, everything looks amazing, but people don't necessarily understand everything that goes on behind the scenes.
And actually, when you make those comments or you leave those reviews or you do, you know, like actually how that affects, you know, it's not an anonymous organisation, you know.
Then it just falls into a void.
Like, it actually hits, you know,
And
personal.
you become chalk and cheese, don't you?
I mean,
And I've only ever been myself, and I'm chalk and cheese. It's like. But anyway,
It's easy for me to say now, but you just have to view all of that like any old statistics where it's the medium, the mean.
Yes,
that
you're
matters.
right. You're right.
The people who say you're the best thing since sliced bread, they're probably wrong. The people who say that you're the shittest thing ever, they're also wrong.
Yeah.
It's that aggregate in the middle. As long as you're focused on that, and most people like what you're doing, then you're doing a good thing.
Oh, 100%. Well, when it could be 1 out of 100 like reviews, But it's that one thing
Oh.
that makes me feel terrible.
It's a dagger
about
to
what
the
we do.
heart.
Yeah, because
Dagger to the heart.
we've literally poured everything into doing what we do, and it really hurts.
It really
sometimes.
does. It really does. Yeah.
And I think sometimes we need to talk about this. It's very easy to play a whole just like, yeah, everything's fine on the face of it, but it hurts. We're not big corporate business. We are two individuals doing what we do, and we may not be everything to everybody.
It's like you said, you might not be everyone's cup of tea. It might not be, craft beer might not be for everybody. I mean, this might not be for everyone. It should be, because it's
This is
outstanding.
yeah.
I can't believe it's 12%.
No, I know.
I know.
I
But
wanted
there's
to do more and I can't.
There's a lot of vitriol and venom out there on the internet, and for me, the
Especially
best
for
thing,
entrepreneurs.
the best thing to do is to just ignore it.
But it's hard though.
It's
It
hard,
is
and
hard.
nobody's pretending it's easy, but you
But you have
can't.
to look at it to
What
like,
they're looking for is a reaction. You react.
Oh, we don't react.
Then
but you also want
you've
to
given
pick
them what
out
they want.
constructive feedback, particularly for us.
Oh.
You want constructive feedback. It's like, the air conditioning was a little bit too high that weekend,
Ah.
or your staff are throwing bottles into the glass bin and it's really noisy. Versus that I couldn't get a table because you were so busy and therefore I'm leaving you a 1-star Google review.
And it's like yeah, exactly.
And that's
Sorry for being too busy for you.
Yeah.
But that hurts.
Can
It
I-
does hurt.
It's really about that. Couldn't
Oh,
get,
have we got questions?
couldn't
No,
get on
just-
the brewery show because it was too busy.
There is a
If you
question.
look at our website, it says they are
It's
likely
from
to busy
Carl.
book in advance.
Yeah.
He says, so you guys, you're all out in Barrytown tonight then?
We are.
Barry!
We're out in Barry.
We're going to our bar, Craft Republic.
Yeah. We're not going on any roller coasters.
We're all going to go and sit
Not after that much beer, there's no way.
We're all going to go and sit in the fridge for 10 minutes after this, I think. Bring us
And Mel's coming,
I like
which is a surprise.
I feel like this
I
is
don't
not the
It's a
time.
surprise.
We're going to
No,
go and
not
drink,
tonight.
I think after beer, we're
I'm
going to go and
going
drink some
tomorrow night.
gin.
Yeah, gin.
Yes, gin.
So-
We're going to go and try Barry Island gin.
I put out, I put out, because I haven't tried it yet, I got your run.
Oh, nice.
Ah, yeah, old school,
give
that
us-
is. We got new ones. We got new
You give us
bottles.
a box,
Yeah.
we had a lovely box off.
So I disappeared off camera then while you were talking about this, because I pretend these things don't hurt or bite, but they do, because it's frustrating. And there's this one that stood out to me recently, which made me laugh a little bit at the time, and I shared it with Lee, so it was funny. There's
I
an
don't
Untitled
make
review
comments anymore.
for a beer that we do called Grapefruit Lupul Iron. So Lupul Irons are a
Oh,
classic
yeah,
American
yeah.
pale ale.
I've
Great
read
for
that
the ones
also.
grapefruit twist, and it's really refreshing. But someone decided to give us a very bad score on Untapped, and the comment was, "More fucking shite from Britain's most overhyped craft brewery. Give me a shot and get over with it, and then fuck off." It's just not acceptable.
It's horrible.
It's awful.
That's just
Exactly.
horrible.
I get that indeed. It's awful. It's like,
Why would someone do that?
As your,
Awful.
as your business, that we talked about how you built it from scratch, how you were there building the bar, how the brewery got flooded in the first 2 weeks,
Yeah.
all of that.
yeah.
How does that make you
It's so
feel?
frustrating.
Ah.
I'd rather just go on and say,
No, a few years ago that would have annoyed me. Now I view that like, do you know what? That says nothing about me and that says everything about you.
Yeah, you're right. And do you know what? That's what I need to get to. And I'm slowly getting there, but it's taking time. It's because we've literally poured you've poured everything of yourself into
Blood,
it.
sweat and tears.
Yeah,
That's when they're
and
stacking
that-
chickens in Aspen and
Something like that. I'm thinking,
all of it
you
goes
clearly
in.
hate my brewery, you hate my beer, but you paid money for it.
Okay, fair.
It's much more conducive to if you actually gave us some constructive feedback.
If there was a reason for it, I can completely
No,
understand
it's
it
like
because
we had, the
Be
1-star review, which was, you were
Too
too
busy,
You were too
yeah.
busy. I'm like, if you'd been and you'd had a terrible experience, please talk to us because we want to hear that. We want
Tommy
to
Gabriel,
just
Tommy's
to
in.
literally
yeah,
hit you with
but
it.
And one
then
starts
but
when
do
you
you know
close
what?
as well.
Do you know what
I know,
we need to get into
Hi Tom,
perspective?
how you doing, mate?
We had 40 previous 5-star reviews and then 1 star.
And that's the one that we
That's
do
the
sleep
one
over
that
though.
Joe
isn't it?
Biden, thank you.
100%. It hurts.
Lots
It
of
hurts.
lots of support, lots
I
of
mean,
support in
we
the
always
chat.
talk
Lots
about,
of
like,
support.
You need to learn to
especially-
filter out the noise.
I know.
Also, like, particularly with you, Sam,
Otherwise
we
you're
always
in the
say,
sleep.
We're so new.
we always
My
say-
job's to look at it, that's the trouble.
Yeah, but we
Yeah.
always say the moment you put your head above the parapet, you're going to take shots.
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah.
Like the moment you stand up and have an opinion,
Yeah.
people are going to come at you.
Yeah.
And there is a bit of an assumption as, well, you just have to learn to deal with that. Well, why?
I'm a human. I'm
But
just a
why?
human. I put my head on the pillow like we all do every night.
Yeah.
And that's for me the worst time. Head on the pillow. Mel will say, you're not sleeping tonight. I know.
Yeah,
I don't
like
get a
that.
wink. I'm like that all night.
Right, so.
But anyway,
I
yeah,
think-
that's
What have we got?
So
I
all the
think-
support you guys give us makes it worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So-
The negatives are frustrating.
How many people
209
have you got
likes.
watching?
Let's
Exactly,
go
how
for
many
some
people
more
liked it
love.
so
Should we
far?
get some more
Yeah,
love?
more love.
We got
Let's get some more love.
233 people tuned into the
Yes.
Stone Crow
Thank
Virtual
you.
Pub. Stone the Crow! Yay!
Can
Stone
you
the
hit
Crow!
the like button? Show us the love, guys. Hit that like button.
Hit the like
share
button
with
down
your
below.
mates.
Come on, let's do
Get
300
everybody
likes.
in here.
300 likes. 300
Tell your
likes.
mates.
I'm doing it as
Share
well.
with your mates.
I'm
Get
doing it
in.
as well.
I'm doing a
Come on.
live stream selfie.
300
Nice
likes.
likes.
Hey!
60. Nice
We've only
one.
got to get in there.
300 likes. You guys are
I mean, we'll just
fabulous.
photograph the wall.
Absolutely fabulous.
I can't see
He
it.
doesn't do
Dave,
socials,
I'm
does he?
blind now.
We just got a comment from Crap Republic.
Simon, Craft Republic or what?
Oh, they?
I think
Brilliant.
that's supposed to be in the
Check
room.
your
Is it
email.
really better if I film myself filming?
No, you do it. You do it. You do it. You get in. Get in.
I was about to top myself
That's
up.
really
Simon stole
disappearing
the
down the
can.
rabbit hole, isn't it?
226 likes. We've got nearly 240 people watching.
Oh.
Oh, we have.
Thank
well
you,
done.
Jimbo Jones, who said Craft Republic and Brew Yorker Legends. Nothing like you
thank
guys,
you.
Simon.
Oh, they're fine.
I mean, that was just a
Yeah,
given.
yeah. I'll put my head on the pillow tonight.
There you go. There you go. Lights.
We'll make sure that you've got 12% beers to make sure we
And
put your head
the-
down the
I-
pillow.
I-
you-
Donkey.
Thank you, Hasty Hayes.
Uber.
As well.
Uber is right.
So I'm going to be honest. This is the first time this has ever happened. I tidied the house from 6 o'clock this morning.
Don't worry, we
I was like-
Remember we came to see you?
Yeah, I was mopping floors and everything when these
When we
guys
came, he was wearing his
yeah.
penny. It was like,
Yeah.
I want to break, you know, the Queen video, I want to break free.
in his
Now
pants.
now
Sorry,
there's
so,
plans.
hang on, sorry. Big Kev has said that apparently we're wrapping up in 5 minutes and he's not having it.
No.
Can we
Well.
just stay on a little bit? It's
How
just
much time
not
did we lose for the iPhone outage?
Yeah, exactly. I got a surprise.
Well, ask us questions. We're happy to answer anything.
There's always a surprise as well. I'm going to go and get my surprise.
What? Oh
Do I need to
no! I've got
clean
work
glasses?
tomorrow.
You've already told us there's me and export. Is that a surprise?
Yeah, do you know what? That is going out there.
Some-
I'm not drinking.
Some of us have got an event to run.
Yeah, we've got an amazing events.
I'm just attending an event.
Oh no, that's not how it works.
Tom Frost says, Brew York, please release the Mars Ton Coco in cans.
Oh no, there was
Oh,
only
yeah.
there was only the one. We did like
Mars bar.
disclosure. We had a barrel of we put some Empress Tom Coco into a barrel, and the barrel had begun to leak. We then needed to do something with it, so we then put it into smaller firkins, and then we served it at our birthday party. But then we adulterated it in different ways, and one of them we went with
Mars bar.
chocolate and caramel. We called it the Mars bar interpretation of Tom
It
Coco.
was amazing
So-
on Cask.
What you drank that day was the only one that has ever
Wow.
been in existence.
That's probably cool.
Unique.
So
Unique.
my surprise to these guys is a 1995 bottle of Baby Sham. No, only joking. Only joking. It's a bottle of Leisure microbrewery. I went to Bergen in Norway. We ground all the malt up and we did this whole brewing process from 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we put it into a barrel, which Rune, the head brewer, just bought off the internet, and then he had one of those like the cease and desist things from the barrel company saying, please don't talk about our peated whatever it was whiskey barrel. You're not allowed to put the name of the whiskey on. So we made this. I don't know if we're all ready for it. Maybe we'll have it in a bit.
There's been some glass.
But it's a 10.3% ABV bottle, signed by myself and the brewer on the side. It's about 6 years old. I got no idea what it's going to be like. It might be great. It might be terrible.
So we're gonna go, yay!
Yeah. Stone the Crows! But no, we'll give it a go. We're all
There's
ready.
only one way we're finding out.
Yeah,
so.
there's
Yeah,
only one way.
100%.
I'll take it out the sun though. I'll take it out the sun.
Yeah, we've learned that lesson, haven't we?
Yeah.
Sorry, I also have to say, so Joe Biden's dentures, first of all, the conditioner that we use is a coconut-based, nice organic conditioner.
Sorry, that's what I got asked.
And he said that we're very cool, so that like we're not really hot for
Absolutely.
that actually.
Yeah, we're boiling, considering we're in Barry, but thank you very much.
Can you share the tips with me, Lee and Mel?
Oh, is that going to be your next
I feel
review?
left out now.
actually?
Yeah. Shampoo review.
As a customer, as a customer the other night was like, "Oh, Joe Wicks," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not Joe
No,
Wicks. I'm
please
Joe
don't.
Wicks's older, unfit brother." Basically, that's
Like
what we've had the clothes.
Do you know what's really funny though, guys, from Brewer? Put into YouTube, Good Shed's opening, and you'll see a video of Tim
Oh God.
with short hair.
I know.
Yeah, I once had short hair
Yeah.
when I was in corporate
I was
world.
I was like,
Sounds like it. Likewise, look up for the first year of Brew York.
Ah, nice.
Nice shot, yeah.
When I didn't have to answer to anyone else other than my wife, I realised I could grow long hair.
I prefer
And I did.
this. I prefer this. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, let's not talk about my hair anymore.
I mean,
This is the beer channel,
I
not
feel
a
like there's
hair.
cocoa in this. This could probably add some volume, some condition. I feel.
Yeah.
Well,
I might have to bathe.
Well,
in
beer
this.
was once used as a shampoo.
It
was
was.
it
It
not?
was. Yeah,
The
that's true.
tonka as well, because one of my favourite skin moisturisers has got tonka in it.
So basically, we should just go and bathe in this.
Tonka is
Yeah.
heavily used in the perfume industry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Tonka.
There we go.
I love
There we
the Tonka
It's
beer.
lovely.
It's just
This is
unbelievable,
lovely.
isn't it? I think that the first time I ever tried it was 3 Bean by Lervig.
Oh yeah.
Tonka, I was like, whoa, what's this? Yeah.
But
And-
Tonka's
and
really
this-
taken off.
This is just as good. This is just as good.
Thank you.
I was going to say.
Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. Any more questions? We're happy to
Let's have
answer
a look.
anything. Hair care, like
Spank
whatever
Joe
you
Wicks.
want.
Have we stocked
I
any
mean,
Liverpool
preferably
craft
beer
beers?
related, but
Have we stocked any Liverpool craft beers?
I think we have, yes. I'm trying to think. We have to have a look.
General question about Liverpool breweries, or specifically Liverpool.
Have
Can I
we
have
Have
stocked-
we? They're asking whether
I
we
mean,
stocked
if
in
you're
the
happy to
World Cup.
recommend ones that we should stock,
Yeah, please
absolutely
do. I
happy
mean,
to
obviously
do
we
that.
know about Love Lane.
Asvec are really good. They're
Like,
they're new
we know Top
brewery.
Rope.
Yeah.
Like,
I
give
love-
us any other recommendations. We're
I
always
love-
looking.
I love the guys at Top Rope. I'm a massive
Yeah, we've had Top
90s
Rope.
wrestling fan.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Are
so-
you really? I would not have picked that.
Some people have said I might look a little bit like Triple H. in his prime, obviously.
I wouldn't want to wrestle either of you guys. I wouldn't want to
But
wrestle
no, like if you want
Send
any
recommendations
recommendations,
our way,
please
absolutely.
do. We're always looking. I mean, we love beer, but we can't be on top of every single brewery. And also sometimes it's hard to get. That's the difficult situation for us, whether it's through an independent distributor or through some of the online platforms that we use. Sometimes it's difficult for us to get beer, but if you know anyone, or you can tag any breweries that want to supply that are interested in getting contact, we're happy to.
Randomly, we actually find that being in Wales, a lot of people don't distribute to us,
Yes,
or
that's
the festivals
difficult.
don't happen. Like it feels like when you see people doing out there on their brewery tours and everything, they don't touch Wales. So
Yeah,
again, thank
yeah.
you guys for.
It's relatively
Pleasure to be here.
untouched part of the country, or the wider country, in terms of finding distributors who will sell into this area. So basically, we direct deliver to most of the north of England, because our vans can go out there and drop the beer and bring it and pick up empties and do that.
Of course.
The wider country, we have to rely on a wholesale. So a business will buy beer in wholesale from lots of other breweries and then sell into that area. And there's a very small number who we distribute to this area. So it's
Pigs Ear West. That's
Pigs Ear. That's who we use. They're
And then we
amazing.
find if we want to buy directly from independent breweries who aren't stocking other venues in this area, we either have to order a pallet's worth of beer, which is about 8 kegs, which is, getting on close to £2,000, that's just going to sit in our fridge until we can pour it. Or we have to pay extra for that keg delivery, which either we absorb or we pass on to the keg prices. And at the moment, from a lot of breweries, the kegs, understandably, price of everything's going up.
Yeah.
And we have to choose between whether we stomach that delivery cost or whether we pass it on.
Well,
We will try and stomach it.
Your
but-
USP as a bottle shop like bar is having the 14 lines and having the diversity across the lines.
That's the thing.
If you, I mean,
It's hard.
thankfully you're
sometimes.
doing what you're doing tomorrow to showcase us. That's great. But you can't do all that all the time. You can't
But
give up all those lines.
but
to
also you
everybody.
guys were really helpful. To be fair, your cake prices are really good.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the other breweries,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
say along, your beers
Oh, yeah.
are really, really, and you did the very kind thing of sending stuff down.
Did the guys get you the t-shirts?
We don't know
Have you
yet.
got t-shirts for us?
Is it
Oh, I love
Alex
the
then?
t-shirts.
We've not even seen them, so they're probably not then.
No, they should. I spoke to Sam who organised it and asked to make sure there's some t-shirts on. So
We got
But then nothing
glassware.
came in
we
there.
got, we got glassware, which is lovely.
if the t-shirts aren't there, we'll send them down afterwards.
Oh,
Now-
and we can wear the
please do,
t-shirts.
because the team who are working were really
Yeah.
excited about
And
it.
they've told me earlier how great they thought Sam was.
Oh, Sam
she's
has been
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah, Sam's been amazing. If you're watching, Sam,
You're
you
awesome.
are
We
awesome.
love you, legend.
300 likes. Hit the like button down below. 300
I wouldn't be
likes.
surprised
I
if
like
Sam
it.
Let's go in. Oh, yeah, it'd be lovely. Could I ask the wonderful people from Brew York to open this thing? I don't know what it's going to be like.
We're giving it a
No
go.
idea.
Always,
No
always up for
idea.
trying obscure and
Yeah.
unusual things.
I'm really proud of it. I don't often get the
Need some
chance to
glasses
collaborate.
for it.
I'm gonna need a.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there's loads of
Mal, do you have any
others,
glasses?
Nope.
Can I have one of those 12 bottle openers?
Oh, I got a Brew York. We got a Brew York one.
You've not even
Sure.
got a Craft Republic one, we can sort that out.
What? Well, we
definitely.
have to get you across public.
Definitely,
We'll get
definitely.
you a Craft
Yeah.
Republic.
I can find the Craft Republic glass.
I'd love a really honest,
Yeah,
a really honest. I got no idea. It's peated.
I can smell.
Yeah. Let me get some glasses.
There's no more.
I can tell you one
I'll
thing
have to
already.
wash them.
I'm gonna love this. He's gonna hate it.
Oh right, okay, okay.
Because I'm a massive whiskey fan, and my whiskey of choice would be something from Islay.
Oh,
So yeah,
Yeah.
this
You're
is
a
up
big
my
whiskey
street.
fan, so
I'm a
it'll
big
probably
whiskey
be-
Lee,
fan.
how
well.
is your special beer collection going? Because we got to have some of
Oh,
those, didn't we,
that
when
was
we were there last time?
Mal didn't even tell you what happened in the morning.
His wife might be tuned in, so he can't tell you how big his beer.
No, my beer collection definitely hasn't got any bigger. No, that's probably not too far from the truth, actually. I need to spend some time drinking some of the stuff and not just adding to the collection.
Because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
there to enjoy.
You
I
point.
think
You end up
Simon-
pointing to things, don't
That
you?
was an invite.
As you already know, you are welcome anytime.
Drink through all these.
Well,
selection.
Let me
We're gonna invite over here, so-
let
Yeah, I
me
was gonna say.
let me talk about what happened. So we did a live stream at Brew York, and then Lee said come over here after the live stream, and Lee pulled out some like Cantillon.
Oh,
There
yeah,
was some
so
Cantillon
amazing.
bottles. It was
Three
like
Fontana, probably.
Three
yeah.
Fontanian. It was like oh my,
Beers I would never ever see.
and it was incredible. We had a 2 in the morning job, 2 o'clock in the morning job.
Yeah.
Absolutely
You,
fantastic.
you had a 6 a.m. toilet trip, didn't you?
Yeah. Mal said I woke up standing over her. No, not sick on her. No. But
But
Luckily-
whatever
luckily-
floats your boat, guys. Whatever floats your boat.
No,
I was speaking to the big white telephone in the sky, 6 o'clock in the morning. But it was fantastic.
I was like, what's that? What's going on?
Yeah.
Do you know what? That makes me proud, Sam.
Yeah. There you go.
That was great. So we were at
We have a reputation for destroying people. I'm glad to hear this continue.
oh blimey.
It was green.
I was like that.
No chance.
I was like that at McDonald's at 11
Yeah.
o'clock, trying to eat my breakfast. But anyway,
You had the fears that day. You had the fears, couldn't pop it.
oh, it was a
Well
fantastic.
said, well done.
But
That's good day.
The red one.
oh, Barry Top with 175 super
Oh,
chat, unbelievable,
thanks, mate.
unbelievable. Love you, Simon. Would have loved to have a pint in person. Barry Toner, if it's possible to do that, if you want to meet up next week, I'll come and have a pint with you. Let me know in the
Get
comments.
the train over to Barry tomorrow.
realaleguide@googlemail.com. I will come and see you, and I will definitely come and have a pint with you. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Barry Toner, thank you very much.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh wow.
So Lee's kind of hit the nail on the head with your beer. I really appreciate it, but it's Islay.
I got no idea.
Islay. It's
Right. Well, you need an empty glass first,
I
Sam.
know.
See half down in what now?
Here we go.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Highly all the way.
Do you like that?
Oh,
I really like that.
yes.
That is basically whiskey on the front.
Yeah.
Very, very dark.
Do you know
Let's
if
have a smell of it.
that's the last bottle up
No,
there?
that's the previous one.
Yeah.
Could I
You want to smell this?
could I sneak that in your bag and just hide it somewhere in somewhere on a high shelf or somewhere, or
Yeah.
people never get to touch
No,
it but they get to
no.
look at it? Is that possible? No.
Oh.
Claire's saying no.
No,
Try
it's
it,
in
Claire.
I like that.
Wow.
I tried
I
it.
like that.
I respect it,
It's
Yeah.
6
but
years
it's
old.
not for me.
It's 6 years
Is
old.
it-
I have no idea what it's like.
That
That's
is.
not it, Simon. That's Tom
So,
Cooker.
I think we know why your phone died over here.
It's so warm, isn't it? I know.
You've got
it's
the intensity
I
of
love
that
it.
sun.
How are your legs going? Do you need to rotate now?
Well, he's got fresh tattoos on the back of his legs as well. So
Oh,
Those.
No, they're not
It's
fresh.
honestly,
It's
they're
the ones
like-
on my arm that are fresh.
they're
Right, here we
really
go.
We used to spit rose.
Where's the
I'm sorry. I went wrong.
I will be doing the rest of this like this.
Have you seen Alien Predator?
I love it. I love it. It's
So-
really
so
weird.
So
yeah.
it smells, do you know what that smells like?
Go on, Wayne. Give us a
Like I
description.
said,
Go on.
Medicine.
I respect it. I appreciate it. It's a really nice beer. It's just
It is.
not my Islay and peaty is not my thing.
No.
So I will happily enjoy this. I won't.
Love the
I won't be polishing off a whole
It's
bottle.
sweet, yeah.
I wouldn't
It's
polish a
sweet.
whole bottle of Imperial Stout anyway. But yeah, really nice.
Yeah, Wayne
Smoky.
wouldn't drink whiskey, whichever variant of it. And for anyone who doesn't even like whiskey, the Islay variant, the smoke tends to be the biggest turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
That
been
is
poking.
really
I've been
smoky.
poking all night, and I'm gonna have to poke a little bit further. I would love
Hey,
to. I would love to add to that
Context.
collection.
Context.
I would
please.
love to add to that collection, and I would love to brew with you guys. If I'm being too pushy, let me know.
It's happening. It's
Well,
happening.
no,
I would
good
love
luck,
to
Simon.
put something
Can
up
we
there
join?
from Brew.
Can we do
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We can do the
Crack
Barry
the public.
Agreed. Freeway. Freeway.
It's got to be Barry themed.
Barry
We got to
themed.
come up with something something with
Barry Chuckle.
Manilow.
Barry Chuckle.
Barry
There we go.
Barry Chuckle or Barry Manilow.
Barry Smash.
I would love to add to that. With Brew York up there. Brew York up there.
We
would
haven't
be
done
just-
Barry
You need to pan the camera to
See?
show them
Oh.
what you're referring to.
In fact,
Yes.
no,
yes.
we've not done Barry Manilow, but we did at one
Barry
point
Manilow.
almost do a Barry Manilow.
Oh!
So all of these at the top are plastic.
Hiya, hiya.
Hang on, yeah, there we are.
Hiya.
Are the
Hiya.
Here we are, look at that. Look at
there you go.
that. There we are. These are all the collaboration
That's
beers.
none of them falling off.
Poland,
It's
I've been to
yeah.
Poland, Belgium, Hungary, I've been to Croatia, all over the place.
England.
England, oh, I love England. I love it. England's a wonderful place. Masters Brewery, they don't exist anymore. They were down in Somerset. We did a mint chocolate imperial stout based off of Stone's mint chocolate imperial stout. We decided to have our own go at it. But it would be amazing right here to put Brew York. There's a
That was a pigeon.
Close the window.
And then there's your
Stone the
Rocky
Crow.
discs.
Yeah, there's the Rocky discs up there. There's the Rocky discs, the CD discs. But yeah, wouldn't it be amazing? And I reckon Barry Toner, with his amazing super chats, should have a little influence on what we do. Barry Toner's watching still. It would be amazing.
What do you want to see more of?
We said it was going to be a Barry themed beer,
Yes.
so there we go.
Barry, yes, Barry Toner. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What do you want
Wouldn't
to
it
see
be?
more of?
What do you want to see us brew? If there was a collaboration between myself, Craft Republic, and Brew York, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Comment in the comments box down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Mel, top of your head, what would you do? You do one of those. One of those fruity
Glad it wasn't me
beers.
first. I got time to think.
Mel would do a Barbara Streisand something.
Barry Streisand.
Barry Streisand! Yes! So Barry Streisand with Craft Republic, unbelievable.
Oh yes.
I've already said mine, Barry Manilow. It's got to be
Barry
Sorry,
Manilow.
Sorry, Barry Manilow.
Barry Manilow, yeah.
We got to think something out.
we do like a
Oh,
berry marshmallow?
Berry
Oh,
Mash.
Berry marshmallow.
Berry marshmallow.
Oh
you know,
my
so-
God.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey,
See, she's a marketer.
the marketing lady.
Also, I really like marshmallows. So.
Marshmallow fruited sours are really popular and really good.
Ooh, well, we love sours.
Thankfully,
so-
you have a video record of
Oh,
this.
also it's
Otherwise,
like
I'm just saying write that
Like a
down.
berry and stick of rock as well. You know.
Barry Island Rock.
Berry
that's a good
marshmallow.
idea, Yeah.
Oh,
You could bring some Barry Island Rock up and we'll melt that into the
Oh, I'm overly excited now.
You need to find a local Barry Island rock supplier so that we can get it
Well, you got
at a
plenty of
reasonable
those.
price.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
If only we
from
knew a
paying tourist
Barry
price.
Island gin
No.
or a Barry Island rum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, we would bring that. We would bring the rock. We'll bring the
That's
rock.
our contribution.
Yes, yeah, we'll bring the rock. You brew the beer. How does that sound? Barry Island rock.
And we'll just
We'll
have to
bring
just
it.
Have you got any
Chewing on
barrels
rock.
that you aged your stuff in yet?
No, we haven't.
Well, if you ever get to that
Stainless
point,
steel.
then we
Yeah,
can
right.
take that beer and we can put it into those barrels as well.
Oh my goodness me.
See, that would
My
be an
goodness
interesting
me.
concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That would be an interesting concept.
sounds like
this is a done deal.
not a something a brewer would say, but have we got any more sessionable beers that I can have?
No way.
And I'm just going to duck off the loo, but if you find one of those sessional beers, I will have
What
one.
about that Mickey Owens export you were talking about? That seems sessionable now.
Honestly.
Mickey's.
I'm really enjoying this more and more I drink it, mate, which is probably a dangerous thing because it says it's 10%, but I bet it's not. I've not had the time in the barrel. It's probably,
I feel like this is the point where we need some like intermission lift music. Or...
while we work out and eat pretzels.
Ooh, this one from Matthew.
Yep.
I'd love to see Brew York make a Turkish Delight milk chocolate stout.
Oh, interesting.
Sounds good, but I despise Turkish Delight.
We've had this conversation
How can
before.
you despise Turkish delight?
Is it got like rose?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's
rose,
rose
so you got lemon
Rose,
with like...
rose and chocolate.
Yeah.
It's well. It's still well.
I don't have to drink it, I guess. We can brew it and
TJ said Barracuda, tropical taste
Nice.
of Wales. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can put some
Liking that.
fish in it as well.
Yeah, names. If you've got,
yeah,
got a name.
bit of vinegar
Come on.
and fish and chips from the island.
Yeah. We've got another question, have we?
I'm New Zealand born, but Irish, Scottish, and English heritage. So guess affinity for Guinness checks out.
Did it? Well,
Fergotronics.
we did a nitro stout recently, which was effectively a Guinness clone. It wasn't obviously their recipe because we don't have it. But we brewed a really nice equivalent of what Guinness is. We did it on nitro, so it pours really smooth. And we called it Big Toucan because it was definitely not a rip-off of Guinness's Toucan. Got a red mega.
Got 99.99. Barry Tony.
Well, sorry.
Oh, what's
I'm
he
gonna
said?
save that one,
Okay.
Baritona, till Simon gets back.
Yeah, we'll wait, save it till Simon gets back.
Yeah.
So it's a Big
Right.
Toucan. The
He's
Guinness
right here.
equivalent
He's here.
was
Simon.
one of
Yeah,
them.
Joe Biden says has to be Barracuda.
I'll have that.
Barracuda?
Barracuda.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm on the dregs now. I'm on the dregs.
Yeah, we've avoided that one for me. But
Well,
carry.
So we always called ourselves, like, we have a group of friends we've always met, we called ourselves the Dregs, which we abbreviated from the Drinking Regulars.
So we are
Yeah.
the dregs.
Yeah.
Or what we
You guys
call
are
it.
the dregs, that's cool.
Sorry.
Simon, you got a big super chat here.
Yeah, you have a massive
Yeah,
one. Come on.
Massive one.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Oh yes, table beer. That's probably a really good one
I
too.
just
Why
finished
not?
off my juice, which is lovely.
Okay.
That juice was insane.
I'm gonna
That's
put
That's a
19.
classic. That's a classic one.
You've got super chat that you need to look at, mate.
Wow. Barry Toner, £90 super chat. Generally appreciate. Sadly, I'm totally blind. And,
Belfast.
Belfast.
Which means you wouldn't be able to go and meet him.
okay. Barry, just thank you.
Good man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're an amazing
thank
man.
you. Just thank you, Barry.
We love you.
Where's my glass?
You take it to the toilet with you.
I've got a bottle of baby champagne now.
I'm gonna drink out the can. Barry, salted caramel Tron Cocoa, 12%
Beautiful
ABV.
beer.
Unbelievable beer. Cheers to everybody. at the Stone Crow Virtual Pub. All of you. All of you.
Cheers.
Mm.
And especially to Barry.
Yeah, of course, and especially to Barry. Amazing. I must have left my beer inside. I'm going to go and find it.
And he's gone again.
You haven't left it in the toilet. You didn't tell me you had a bee day. I couldn't get it to work earlier.
Yeah. The best thing we've ever
Well, I've
had.
got to say,
What have you got?
your bathtub is like palatial.
Oh, the bathtub's
I
amazing.
love my bathtub.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
stunning.
like when
Who uses
so
a bee day?
Simon? That's why when
So I
when I
can
did
present this to review.
Pastore's amazing.
How do I
yeah.
approach it?
Yeah,
How do I
lovely.
approach that?
So this is why when he goes off camera to go to the
No,
toilet,
exactly. We got the
Someone-
mango.
Yeah,
The
someone
banana.
watch it, yeah.
So we brewed with this brewery a couple of weeks.
So,
about
so
6
these guys
weeks
are
ago.
really good.
Are they?
Yeah.
No, they're really
Okay.
good. And then
Oh,
they
that's
have two
fun.
strings to their bow. They do like the mixed firm stuff,
Okay.
Which is
which
your,
they're exceptional at.
Belgian
But they've
style
also
sours.
dipped their toe into pastry line,
Okay.
which is what this
Well,
one's
the type of thing
like.
that, the type of thing that we
More
do.
the kind of thing that we do. But they're usually really good at getting big flavour into things.
We've got a fan of the channel.
Yeah, Calvin from Rita's Pantry.
Calvin from
Reed's
Rita's
Pantry
Pantry.
up in
Yeah.
Hartlepool.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He sends
Right,
me
it's red
Sends
cap.
beer.
I always say this. I always
Red
say
cap.
Hartlepool, but I mean Medco.
unbelievably. Like I read it and I was like, ah.
So
And Lee's just explained it and it's like brilliant.
is Calvin on tonight?
Yeah, you'll probably be
He's
watching
getting
this.
a
Yeah.
lemon top for me and Lee. We were talking about getting ice cream earlier, and if you're in Redcar, that's what you do. You have a little, it's like the soft serve ice cream, and it has a lemon top on it. It's
Okay.
so nice. We should do a lemon top beer. Oh, we do a lot of
Vanilla
lemon beers. Yeah,
and-
vanilla and lemon and.
Nice.
Unbelievable. There is the sausage and cheese in the fridge. Should we get
You
that?
always talk about your sausage on camera.
I know.
This is-
I know.
Cho lots of eating me.
Oh,
What's happening? Oh, you just push it.
Oh, right.
You just give it a kick.
Climb over it.
We couldn't get the dog in.
Yeah, the dog gate. It's not a target. It is a dog
It's only
gate.
for the dog.
We got keys for the kids. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's old and-
So what's the dog called? I met him earlier.
Loki.
Loki.
Look,
Yeah. He's hiding upstairs
Is
because
he
he'd be too
mischievous
excited.
then?
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
mischievous. Yeah.
Right, I reckon we should get the meat and cheese out.
I met Loki earlier. He jumped up on my leg. He's really
Yes, he did. He's a leg
upstairs
licker,
because
he's a
he
leg
would
licker.
be
Sorry.
Sounds like me.
mischievous entity or force right now. Where can I get Brew York beers on draft in North East
So
England?
I was told
North
this.
East.
Yeah.
Well, I'd start in York, and then maybe after that.
Rita's Pantry, permanent stockist. They always have our beer on.
Newcastle, you'll find our beer in many places.
So I learned this in
There you
Norway.
go.
Just put cheese and sausage on the table and people will just eat it.
Try and make
And
some
it works really well. It works really, really well. I picked this up in Lidl in today in Barry. So
No,
enjoy everyone.
We will.
Sausage and
Thank
cheese. Yes.
So that's your piece of sausage, so they were. You stand there and it's like a pepperoni.
I mean, I
One
didn't.
size one.
Let's get this.
So,
Should we do it?
Go by Sanchez.
No,
Loki is
maybe I'm
upstairs
doing
because
a
he'd be
Welsh
too
thing now,
excited
where
with
nothing
all the
works.
people here today. And he's getting old now, so
Simon's
I
got a
can't
knife
keep
in his
him
hand.
pitched
Yeah.
in. Pitched in, that's Welsh word.
we're in.
How do I explain
Yeah,
pitch?
we're in.
Oh, I was going to have that.
Pitch? I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know how
I'll
to
leave
explain
it to it.
pitch.
I'm rubbish.
Right.
I'm rubbish.
When are Brew York opening a bar in Cardiff? I
Oh.
keep asking on the YouTube
Well, we-
sphere
Yeah.
from Gareth.
We are actually about to get a permanent line in Head of Steam in Cardiff. So you'll be
Are
able to
you?
go to the bar up there and there, so that's going to be pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Although we've just been hearing from you guys tonight that you don't think Cardiff's very craft anymore. So
Did not say that. I did not say that.
was that I shouldn't mention this kind of thing?
No,
Unfortunately,
things are
you know,
changing.
Well,
we've had some great independent bars, like Bubs were phenomenal.
they were.
And unfortunately,
Yeah.
rent prices in the centre of Cardiff have pushed
Ah.
small independents out
Yeah.
further to the
Right.
outskirts. So on the outskirts, there's some fantastic stuff happening. You know, you've got Bubs, you've got Pop and Hops, you've got Canners out in Canton. You know, there's some really good things happening.
But in the centre, the prices have killed us.
So high.
Prices, yeah.
So high.
Yeah.
So unless you're
It's
a
too-
brewery,
it's
you
too
can afford a tap room to
commercialised,
be-
isn't it?
Yes, you've got
Yeah.
Head of Steam, you've got Brew Dog, you've got Tiny
Oh,
Rebel.
what is
Great. Love Tiny Rebel. All of that.
Mel, did you ever watch the Vanities on
Unfortunately.
MTV?
What's the
No,
rest of
mate,
us just big
Mark.
chain
No.
things then?
Yeah.
We finished.
No.
No, we're still going.
We've got Simon's got his special sausage.
I got my special sausage now.
Yeah, the sausage is out, Tim. The sausage is out.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really good actually.
Sorry, mate.
I just nibbled on the end.
Oh,
Sorry.
I
That's
love
what he
it.
said.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Brilliant.
Definitely time to move on to the sessionable beers, I feel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, I saved a little
Thank
bit
God
of
we got
my
some ladies in the room. Thank God we got some
Yeah.
ladies to
Because for me tonight,
equal
that's
things
my
out.
favourite beer.
That'd be your favourite?
Yeah. Although Tom Coco
It's
was
probably the one that's most
Tea.
similar to rhubarb, which is
Yes,
really like.
of course. Yeah.
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 So that makes
It's the
sense.
sweet and bitterness balance I just love. That's my favourite thing. Talks volumes for me.
Oh, I'm feeling the. It's a real. After 5 years in a bottle, I'm struggling to get hold of this one, Lee. What do you think of the?
I think it's a nice beer, but it's not a beer that's going to please everyone.
No, absolutely not. No. It's
I'm
peaty. They're really peaty, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's really peaty. It's really peaty. And it's definitely an end of the night drink.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mid-afternoon.
we're kind of having it in the middle, but
Yeah.
you live and you learn.
Sean,
don't you?
head over to Craft, take your phone, and reinstate the live feed from Craft Republic.
We could.
Photonics, thank
We
you.
could. Shall we carry on with a live stream over at Craft Republic?
Why not? Why wouldn't
Why
you?
not? Why
Well,
not? Yeah.
Why don't people respond with what they think?
What they
Yeah,
they
your
want.
name.
Yeah.
Either we stay here and drink
Yeah, just
12%.
Yeah.
one-worded answers, yes or no. Let's hear what you
Yeah, or
think.
join us at Craft, you know.
If you want to see us continue down into
Daniel
Oh my
Bell.
god, it's like
Daniel
you're
Bell.
an adventure book.
Come and meet us, Daniel Bell, down at
Steve
Craft
Jackson,
Republic.
If you would like to continue to Craft Republic, turn to page 12.
Yes. I've got one. If Daniel Bell wants to come to Craft Republic tonight, you'll see Daniel Bell.
Oh, we've got pinches.
Yeah, I think we need cheese now.
Daniel Bell, it'll be like
We've got a knife.
ordering a taxi and we're going to make it. Yeah, but we're making our
Now
way
in a
down.
minute, Daniel Bell. It'll be now in a minute.
Now in a minute, Daniel Bell. Now in a minute.
Whose coat is that jacket?
Yeah. Hanging up on the floor.
Did you put your beer onto a brown beer by any chance?
Yeah, can you
That
tell
juice
that?
is lovely. Juice is like
Thank you.
beautiful.
What's the big question there?
Ryan, evening guys. Been away for a long time. Any reaction on the Legends at Beer O'Clock show, calling it a day in a few weeks' time?
Lee'll have a bit to say on this.
Do you agree with what they've done?
Have like closed their doors recently as well. So
I'll start on that one if I may. So, I'm pleased to call Steve and Martin personal friends, and I'm absolutely gutted to hear that they're ending what they're doing. I think it's been 10 years of excellent output. I know Martin he's got his reasons he's going to go off and do his thing. He's been promoted at work, as he said, so he doesn't have a lot of time to dedicate to it. He's going to focus on his running. But I think Steve's such a lovely guy and such a fabulous host and so knowledgeable about our industry and so passionate about how our industry's developed over the last 10 years that for me personally is one of the people that listens to what they do. I'd be absolutely gutted if he didn't continue in some form. So I've been in touch with him and he's basically told me what he's told everyone else, which is just watch this space.
Yeah.
He's not saying yes, he's not saying no. I think in about 2 months' time he'll announce whether he's going to carry on or not. I hope he will carry on,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Lee's going to contact them to
Fingers crossed.
have a 10-minute slot on their final show if they can fit him in.
Oh yeah. They've also invited people to appear on their final show, and I think they've been so instrumental in my personal beer journey that I would love to be part of their
I
final
think
show.
it's so needed as well because when we were looking at building our bar, I was looking for podcasts. So much stuff out there is American rather than UK based.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And the ones that are brilliant in the UK, so like Beer with Nat, called her final episode.
She's just finished as well, isn't she?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's been so many of them. And it's a real shame because actually I think in the UK we have such a different, there's different tastes, different styles, different demographics, different interests. We need our own figureheads in this space. So it's a real shame.
What Lee was saying earlier is our culture and drinking is very different. So you go to a pub in the UK and you drink 4 or 5 pints of a low strength beer and you talk about beer, and we're trying to do what we can to change in any way we can, but that is our culture, and in the States it's very, very different. It's either ridiculously horrible mainstream lager, or it's craft and it's no one even knows the strength. You just talk to people and you buy a beer, and it comes in whatever size it comes in. It is whatever strength it is, but it's very different to our culture.
But you're right. That, as a data scientist, the trends are so nuanced here. Tastes are different, spending habits are different, drinking habits are different. It's really important that the UK has voices that are talking about what's going on, and even regionally as well. Again, this is where we met Simon and everything. It's like, as Wales, I recognise what we're doing is different to what Scotland are doing, what Ireland are doing. For brewers, for business owners, it's so important that there is a voice talking about what's happening in your area. So it's really sad that these podcasts are finishing. Hopefully I'll...
Beer O'Clock Show, for me, that they were the ones that led the way.
Yeah.
They were the granddaddies of the podcast sector. And I'm not sure, and I don't mean to disrespect anyone else operating in that area, I'm not sure there's anyone that can kind of step up and do what they've done. But we shall see.
Fingers crossed.
I got a little bit deep
times
at the end,
change.
Yeah. But
She liked that.
Hopefully,
I mean,
new
I'm listening
things.
to the Archers, so I'm with my podcast choice.
Right?
Just about.
Of course, enjoying a spotted cow.
did you contribute to that conversation, Simon? About
I heard
You were
it
just going to the
as I was
toilet.
going up the stairs. What I would like to say is that anybody who understands talking about beer, how difficult it is to retain any kind of audience retention, any kind of building an audience, it's such a difficult thing to do. It's not like
It is difficult, but it's...
EastEnders or Coronation Street. It's a specific. Sorry if I've had too much to drink, but it's a specific area that you've got to be interested in.
Yeah.
And if you're not interested in it, you're going to lose people. And that's what I found. And that's why I've slightly jumped into food a little bit, junk food. Is that for anybody who's had a McDonald's and then had a brew dog, you're catching that kind of same market. And it's tough.
It's a constant, life changes, it throws lots at you.
Yes.
And one day
Children.
that's the right thing to do, the next day it doesn't fit with what you're doing.
Perfect.
I think that's what you're
yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah. I started the YouTube channel when the kids they were babies. I stopped drinking in pubs. I was a pub drinker. I'd go in the Royal, the Witchell, all these other pubs around here. I'd be drinking in them, having fun. I made the decision when I met Mel and we got married, we had children.
Yeah, babies.
That I try and stop that, and the word is try. Because I think once you love beer, you'll never stop loving beer.
Turbine stenches.
I decided to open up a YouTube channel, and I was lucky. I was really bloody lucky. Where I was one of the first. Zach Avery was before me. You guys
Yeah, we know
probably
Zach
know
pretty
Zach.
well. He lives up the road from us.
Fabulous. Honestly, that guy taught me so much. Even just by, I never really met him in person, but watching Zach's videos, Zach would he'd be in his bottle shop and he'd be like, "Oh, hello," and it was brilliant. It was flipping brilliant. I learned a lot from Zach. I really did, and I had kids, and I carried on with it. But yeah, what Mel's saying is smiling, looking at me drunk. But,
No,
but
I'm smiling at what he says.
life
It's like that.
circumstances, life
Hello.
life
I like it.
circumstances, it changes, isn't it? It changes. I'm ready to go back out now. The kids are growing up. I'm ready to go back
We're
out.
going to Craft Republic tonight.
Yeah, yeah. These are bloody kids around here.
I think where you can, support local, support
Yes.
independent.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough time for
Yeah.
us at the moment.
And if you can't
And
do it.
anyone who's passionate about people who are doing great things, brewing great beers, talking about it passionately, trying to do their best to do it right.
Yeah,
Like, at the moment, we need that support.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not about volume, it's not about going out and seeing how many pints you can get for a tenner.
No,
It's
no,
about
no.
going out, supporting independents, supporting, like, good people doing things properly.
Yeah.
And the
So-
more
Yeah,
we
it's
can
something
have
you
of that, the more we can have of that, the better at the moment.
Yeah, I
It
think
really makes a difference.
I think if you've got
Amen to that.
yeah, 100%. If you got £20 in your wallet and you really want to go and have a great night, then go to an independent bar, talk to people, enjoy yourself, socialise,
Yes.
and make the most of what you can. Don't go to a Weatherspoons and drink on your own in the corner and
Exactly.
spend all that
Yeah,
money
that's
on
it.
pints
Come and
because
speak to
that's
people
fun.
who care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and thank
Yeah.
you for actually saying Weatherspoons rather than that bar that begins with W, when everybody knows what you mean. If we're gonna call them
Yeah,
out,
we'll see
let's
where
call them
it's
out.
going to. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's loads of.
But we know, we've talked about, a lot of independent bars, particularly, we talk about Cardiff, who've been really pushed on their rents, who've been squeezed out of the market. These are people who are independently run,
Yeah.
whose living and whose life depends on that business, and we really need people to support us right now.
Yeah, we were talking earlier.
It's in the
There's
sun
an article in the
again,
paper
Simon. We
about
need to move it.
a village pub that had to close recently because their electricity and gas bills have gone beyond the stage of being able to even. You don't need to take that much of revenue, let alone be able to pay those bills. And
Yeah.
that's everyone's feeling that same stress and pressure.
Just got to move you all in
Bills are going
out of the
up and
sun,
up and up,
otherwise you're going to burn and
we
you're going
can't
to
just
go
keep putting
again.
the price of pints up and up and up. We have to keep beer reasonable or drinks, whatever the drink is, reasonably priced.
100%.
We find ways of covering the bills, which is really difficult if
Yeah.
people aren't coming out. So.
Yeah, no, we've taken the decision for some of our, we're trying to keep some of our.
We get squeezed
Yeah.
left, right, and
But
But
centre.
certainly, we're very conscious about being affordable, and so we've taken the business decision to not put our prices up on certain beers and to absorb that cost ourselves, because we want to
Yeah.
remain
But margins
accessible.
were tight as it
Yeah,
as
but
it was. before we
Unfortunately, if
started.
you're selling beer, whether that be us to people who then retail it onto consumers, or you yourselves onto consumers, you get pretty much one opportunity a year to increase your prices. You do it any more than once a year, you are seen as like profiteering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yet, however, our suppliers, that control our costs, can put up their prices whenever they feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we noticed, so we have a spirits brand as well. We've kept our costs the same.
Barry
So we-
Island.
Barry Island Spirits. yes.
So we
Yes.
but we've stomached that cost increase, whereas we've seen some of the larger brands have put up
That's
like
extreme.
2.5, 3%, 4% increases on trade.
Well, we saw a
We're
20% increase just on glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've absorbed that cost, but it's super important for us. Like literally, that every pound that people choose to spend with an independent
Can I
makes
ask
such
a
a big
question?
difference.
Of course you can.
How many glasses do you have to replace a year with people?
A
taking
month.
them
A
home?
month.
A month? A month.
I was there a month.
Yeah,
I changed
so-
it.
Oh, so we're quite lucky in a
Well,
weird
we
way.
have found our half pints
Oh,
because
the
we have
small
the.
Oh, the most
We've got lovely
nickable
glasses.
are the
So
lots.
we have the
They've got
custom
lovely
nucleation
glasses.
as well
Yeah.
on the base.
Yeah,
so
they're
Expensive,
lovely.
expensive.
They are
If we
lovely.
Yeah, they have
If we
got.
could just
they
clarify
do go
for
full
the
glass.
guys on the
20%
line.
We've
I
got one.
presume
I
we're
don't know
talking
where
about
it is,
custom
but we
glassware
didn't
here.
steal it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have glassware specific to craft
And
Republic.
then
Yes.
custom nucleation on the
On the
bottom
base.
with our logo.
But
so.
was a 20% glass increase? Were you referring to?
Oh no,
the bottle
that's
of the
only
the
for the
bottles.
bottles of spirits for us.
But the glassware itself
but-
as well as.
but-
and everything's
But
going
this
up.
is a valid
Everything's
point.
going up. Beer's going up.
But it's
and
it's not just cost, it's time as well.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge glass shortage at the moment, so we have custom bottles for our spirits. we have to buy thousands of these bottles that will sit in a warehouse for goodness knows how long.
And cash flow, you guys have
And
to pay
cash
for
flow,
it
yeah,
up
it
front
goes.
before it's
Yeah.
even
And
sold.
we haven't got infinite pockets of money to do that.
Exactly.
So we're constantly juggling every single day to make sure it actually works. It's exceptionally difficult, and when we opened, what we've seen 10 to 15% increase in some of our beers in terms of their increase in their costs to us at trade. We've now got obviously things like they gave us relief in things like the business rates and
rate relief.
stuff like that. Yeah, so we're now seeing that on top of that, plus the increase in electricity for us.
We're a real
Yeah.
living wage employer as well,
Yeah,
so
so
we
we-
gave all of our staff a pay rise in
Yeah.
April.
Yeah.
So
regardless,
staff costs
and
have gone
extra
up.
holidays
It is,
and everything.
And don't get me wrong, so I'm not begrudging this because we did exactly the same and our staff completely deserve it. And
Oh,
earn it.
100%.
Absolutely.
But for
Yeah.
context, it's like a 10-11% increase on where we were last year,
Yeah.
and your price per pint is, or price per whatever drink is stayed the same.
Yeah,
So we aren't recouping those costs. It's coming out of our bottom line.
Yeah,
Or
100%.
We worked out as a bar between our electricity costs, wages costs, glassware costs, everything. We stomached something about an increase and rates and everything.
yeah.
Somewhere about like £60,000 a year increase in costs.
Wow.
But we're trying to keep our cost to consumer
Yeah.
as
On a
close
level.
to normal
Yeah,
as
yeah,
possible
yeah.
because we recognise that people are concerned about what they're spending. We want to match the W brand.
Yeah.
And having something that is, accessible. We want to continue that craft. Look at this, it's great. Try this, it's amazing. But we're stomaching those costs, and it's as a small independent business, that's tough because we don't want to lay off staff. We don't want to cut their costs. No, it's important.
And yeah, like when people go, oh, you're in business, oh, it's doing well, you're making lots of money. It's like,
Yeah, where's the
No,
borrowing?
we still pay ourselves minimum
But
wage,
there's a
and
point-
that's it. But it isn't about that for us. It was always meant to be doing something we love
For our community.
for and earning. And it's not about what we earn. It's about doing something that we really care
Passionate.
about.
Yeah.
The
Passionate,
occasional
yeah,
free
yeah.
beer is the perk that we really love.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Occasional.
I mean, this has been awful, by the way.
Yeah. Did
We
you
literally have as much beer as we could ever want. We could swim in the stuff.
Well, no,
Did you get some super chats there while we're talking?
Behind us thing.
Some red at the top of screen, does that mean there's
the revenue?
there's something
'Cause
we need to talk
honestly, if I drank as much about
Oh,
that,
one of the beautiful things about moving into the industry that we have is
We got super
one of
chats.
my biggest expenditures was always beer.
yeah, well, that's it.
And now I don't
That's
pay
it.
that. Wayne don't pay for beer so much now. I don't pay for beer so much now.
I thought the red
Because
on the right was the
we're
super
either
chat.
making it and drinking it, or we're with friends who are giving it to us.
Yeah,
Shall
I get that.
we
I'm
move
imagining
this to
it.
somewhere with some good, chilled, sessionable beers?
Yes! Yes!
We're local,
Where
we're
might
independent.
you
So do
There's some
people?
Wetherspoons around.
Guys,
the
if
corner.
you're just
do
joining
people
us,
want-
welcome
do
along.
people want
Today
actually want to
here
go
we've
to Craft?
got
Are we doing this
all
in
the way
Craft
from
Republic?
York,
Or
Brew
what?
York.
Do it.
We brew some
No, I
really
should not.
fantastic beers, and we've also got the guys from Craft Republic, Tim and Claire, joining us today. If you're just joining us, Mel, you've been a great host. Thank you so much, That was good timing. That was
Yes,
such good
amazing.
timing.
Well done, Mel.
That was good.
Mal's
But the
coming.
guys-
Mal's coming to
The
craft.
guys want some sessionable beers, so what have we got?
We're going to craft.
We're going to craft.
Right,
And we have plenty of sessional beers over there.
plenty, always do, which is
And
amazing.
as of tomorrow, we'll be pouring Lemony Snicket, which is a 2.5%.
Yes.
2.8.
Is
Which
it?
is the most sessionable we have ever done.
Super sessionable.
Yeah.
And
Radler.
also
We've
the
done 2.8
Papaya Don't
before.
Preach is
Papaya
3.8.
3.8. Yeah, papaya don't
Got an
preach.
advice?
No.
So,
What's the Radler?
It's like a.
Shandy.
It's like a shandy, but
It's a
Yeah.
lager
Lemon
shandy.
shandy, yeah.
Lager shandy.
So that's what I'll be drinking, because I do have
the
work.
meats and cheese are really
they're
good.
coming with us. So
Yeah, you can't leave. I'm just
So we're going to wrap it
give
up
me the
here.
big
Yes.
Sorry.
We're
Thank
going
you
to
ever
wrap
so
it up
much,
here. Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
We're going to wrap it up. Thank you, Stone the Crows.
Stone the
Stone the
Crows.
Crows.
Thank you
I think you
all
should give
for
a
joining
big
us
shout out to
today,
Barry.
and
Barry!
Barry!
Barry, you're a legend.
Barry, honestly, Barry, I apologise if I darted away at some point. I'm only human. But Barry, you're a legend. Stone
Yeah.
the Crows.
100%.
Boom! Cheers!
To Barry from Barry.
Yeah.
Barry,
To
yeah.
Barry from Barry.
Barry!
Ah,
I just
so we'll
punched Mel.
see you guys down at Craft Public. I can't even speak.
We're gonna sign into their Wi-Fi. We're gonna be doing a live stream. Stone the Crows.
Yeah, see you soon. Good
All right,
night,
we'll see you
everybody.
soon.
Thank you for joining us today. Hope you've